It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there's a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. Some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but someday we'll realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend of Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Every day, everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day, everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day, everyone got to hear from Sandra.
If you're a parent right now, you already know the cost of living has gone up. Rent, childcare, groceries. When the cost of living rises, government must rise to meet it. And we have. Under the revised ECAP policy, our Early Childhood Assistance Program, we've increased funding to keep pace with what families are actually paying today for their children's early education. Who benefits? A father working every hour he can. A single mother doing it alone. A grandparent raising grandchildren they love. Maybe that's you. Up to 235 Caymanian children will benefit directly, and I want every single one of them to have the start they deserve. That is why we are here. If you've applied before and been disappointed, I encourage you to try again. If you've never applied because you assumed you wouldn't qualify, now is the time to find out. And if the funding didn't feel like enough before, it should now. Is your child 3 years old and Caymanian? You may qualify. Visit us at moeapplications.gov.ky and apply for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Have you completed and returned your business survey forms? The deadline for the annual business surveys is June 12, 2026. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the Economics and Statistics Office. For assistance in completing the forms or for more information, call 244-4676, 244-4600 or visit eso.ky. Remember, better data, better decisions, better business.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, you beautiful folks. Happy Wednesday. It is Hump Day Wednesday. How are you guys doing, honey chow? Everybody's doing good? We're going to take roll call here in a second, and then I'm going to do a poll to ask what you guys want to hear about today. We're going to do it in the after show, though, because, honey chow, I'm not even ready this morning. Like, psychologically, it's going to take a lot to talk about what happened in court yesterday. That was, wow. All right. So I want to know if you guys want to hear all the details, but we're going to do it in the after show because we got more important things to talk about. I don't even like talking about myself. Truth be known, we got so much to discuss, and this is just low-key crazy. My eyes are opening more and more every day about the nature of what it is that, I'm dealing with. And so 9:30, drop your thoughts in the comment section. And let's see. Somebody said the other day, I think it was yesterday, when we did a recent poll about Johan, everybody assumed he would just automatically get unblocked. I said, but Sandy, I did it yesterday. Sandy, then people think you're running a democracy, or what? I said, yes, indeed. They think they're at the polls. They better wake up. Oh, my goodness. I listen to you guys about certain things, but, it's like when your parents used to say to you, I know what's best for you, chill. That's true. I know what's best for y'all. You don't know, but I know. What a hot mess. All right. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is Hump Day Wednesday. We are deep into paperwork and documentation because, when you're a business owner, this is the kind of stuff that most of us don't really care to do, but it's necessary. So we show up and we do even the things that we don't want to do, because you can't have a business, sustain a business, grow a business, do nothing unless you're committed to doing all aspects of it as the CEO, right? Comes with the territory. And some parts are more fun than others, but you've got to do it. Roll call. Good morning, Miss Barbara. It's so funny when I go places and people know by the voice, like they don't even see the face. I had that happen to me yesterday. Somebody turned like they had whiplash. Episode of The Exorcist. I know that voice. And I just chuckled. I said, I bet you're not used to hearing that voice this time of the day. They laughed. What a hot mess. Deborah Bodden in the house. Good morning, Miss Debbie. We got Zeus, my co-host, here with me this morning. He's already sitting in his chair, relaxing. Looks like he's ready for another nap. Felicia, good morning to you, beautiful Felicia. Damaris is here. Hey, Jessica. How y'all doing, honey chow? Another Patricia. No, that was Felicia. Sorry. Patricia Blake says, happy Wednesday, blessings. How's the weather looking out there? Looks like we're in for a little bit of rain. Let me peep out the window. Another wet day. Please be careful on the roads. I can't stress enough. We need y'all to slow down, take your time. Look out for your fellow drivers. Look out for yourself. Have your dash cam, because when stuff goes wrong, you want to have all of the evidence that you need. Good morning, Miss Independent over on Instagram. How you doing? So good to see you. Miss Emma is here, wishing everyone a fantastic day. Morning to Abby. Did you guys see I was busy in the kitchen last night whipping up some brownies? Where's your hand? Where is your hand? Of course, every time I make brownies, I can't help but think of him. Most of them were for a school project. So I got those out the door, cut them up last night, packaged them, and they were ready to go. And, you always got to leave a little batch behind. Gigi had a good time licking the brownie bowl last night. That is her favorite part of all of this. And so, yeah, made sure that they were ready for school. Bought some cupcakes. I couldn't be bothered making any cupcakes now. Y'all going a bit too far. Thanks, Foster's, for the lovely cupcakes. They look beautiful, by the way. Nice colors, nice design, and I'm sure they taste amazing. Didn't have any, but I'm so sure. Delicioso. Okay. We got a YouTuber in the house. Abby says she's canceling her 9:30 meeting. Lord have mercy. Strong Wilt, good morning to you. Wagwan, wagwan. Yeah, court was interesting. I literally, let's get into it at 9:30. But what I will say is I literally left there with a headache. Not a word of lie. I was, wow. Yeah, it was that kind of special. Until you've experienced something like this, I guess you just don't know. It's different. I want to hear all the details. No need to do a poll, says YouTuber. You know we want to know. Somebody messaged me yesterday and I'm like, are you sure people really care? They're like, oh my God, yes, we are so invested in this. I'm like, really? Lord. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it closer to 9:30 because we're going to touch on some other things that unfortunately we've been missing out on. Yeah. Oops, somebody's messaging me. Let me mute that tab there. Johan is in the house. Anne-Marie says, details. Lord Jesus, it's mad. Anne-Marie, good morning, beautiful. How are you? Anne-Marie, I still cannot believe that you have, is it all three of the kids now that are all grown up and adults? Adulting? Oh my gosh, the baby's graduating from high school? I can't believe it. I still see him as, how old would he have been when you guys left? Maybe 8, 9 years old? Wow. These kids are just growing up so fast. It's wild. Congratulations. It feels good to kind of get them to certain major milestones in life. You know what I mean? Lots of graduations are going to be coming up. A YouTuber says the Republic of Marla. What's trending in the news this week that really made you, my apologies, that really made you shake your head? Was anybody else like, what the what? Multiple stories had me going, huh? Say who? Say what? We're going to touch on some of those today. Then we've got the Marla Dukharan interview. And then 9:30. Because, I mean, I'm in such a state of shock about what happened yesterday. I can't, I may not be able to control myself with certain color expletives. So it's best we wait until 9:30 anyway, so that I don't get banned from calling into the show. I'll be like Johan on the outskirts. So yeah, more reasons than one. We'll do it at 9:30. Good morning, Johan. I got some brownies for you. As I was making them, I was thinking, oh my God. You know how you get the little crumbs at the end of the pan, and I put one in my mouth and it was so good and chocolatey. OMG. I said to myself, don't touch another one. This is like 10:30 at night. I'm cutting up these brownies to pack them away. I said, don't touch anymore. Because you're going to sit here with a sugar spike this time of night, and that's the last thing you want to do. So I behaved myself. Strong Wilt, still begging for Johan. My goodness. So we have our anniversary coming up on the 30th. And I'm going to show you guys some of the anniversary bags. Well, we're going to give away one to the ladies. And then we're going to have another prize that men might like, because most men are not into handbags. So, most of you are like, no, auntie, that wouldn't be for me. So we'll get to that today as well. I want to actually show you the product. Big shout out to Marlon. He was up late last night. I was wearing him out with my computer. He's setting things up for me because I don't know. I think I got some serious problems on this one thing. So he's setting up a whole new parallel drive for me so I can abandon this one in due course. But, you know, it takes days and days of moving stuff over when you got the amount of stuff that I got going on. And then, of course, you don't want to move over what's causing the problem, right? So it's a slow, methodical process. So he started last night and he was so tired. He went to bed. He's like, oh, I'm done. Poor thing. Working all day, and then he comes home and I'm making him work even more. So appreciate the people in your life who are there making your life so much easier, yeah? Aren't we just so amazingly blessed? Miss Diamond Princess is here. I don't know why the monitor keeps shutting off, though. I noticed that. Let me tell him. He's like, don't message me about any problems in the morning. It seems like it's timing out in some way, so he's gonna have to look at that a little bit. It's flickering, which I'm not entirely happy with. All right, fingers crossed, and hopefully we can. Someone says, "Good morning. I'm going to a Teams meeting at 9:30. Suits me perfectly. Can't wait. Bye for now." Oh, going into a Teams meeting. So 9:30. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Where's my phone, by the way? Oh, I got to show him what's happening so he can know. Because Lord knows my descriptions of an issue are not always the best when it comes to some of these things. Oh, yeah. So she says, this person says, I'm going into a meeting right now. So 9:30 works for me. I'm like, yes, sir. Okay. All right. So, let me see here. Yeah. It's flickering and then it just goes black. What a heat. All right. Morning to Miss Mitzi Tomlinson. Olivia's in the house. Suyapa, good morning to you. So there's a couple things we need to talk about this morning. And probably some of them are going to make you uncomfortable. That, you know, they're hitting the airwaves. And, oh my gosh, Vanessa, you had a car accident yesterday? Oh no. I am so sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're okay. That's crazy. Wow. My goodness. Did you have your dash cam catch everything that happened? Were you at fault? So we are going to, oh, I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted this morning. Lord, please give me strength to just be the amazing person that you have made me. Do not hold any malice in your heart towards people who are so two-faced. Thank you. And amen and praise the Lord. Can I get an amen up in here? You know, when you see certain people pop up on the screen and you're just like, ugh, why the pretense? Why the pretense? Ugh, let me behave. It's not 9:30 yet. I despise fake people probably more than anything else. Liars, thieves, and disingenuous people. They're at the top of my list. But we're not ready for them yet. There's a time and a place for everything. All right. Welcome, Miss Amelia. Miss Amelia is like, is Auntie talking about me? Nope. Miss Amelia got some good news yesterday. I'm so happy for you, ma'am. People are going through stresses that they don't always publicly share. A lot of them share it with me. And I'm so thankful for that. Like, I feel blessed that people want to share stuff with me because Low key, sometimes I'm like, why are you telling me this? This is like your business. And they're like, I just need somebody to talk to. I'm like, okay. But I'm happy that everything is working out in the end for you. Okay. So I'm not even touching the screen. It just blanks out. So Strong Wilt, come on, Auntie Pasa Pasa. We want to hear her now. Forget about the interview. I can't. I've been trying to play this interview for over a week. Like, seriously? No, we need to get through the interview. Yes, we got to talk about that too. Live happy. That was wild. Okay, let's get into it. Cayman is becoming an alternative universe, I feel like, in so many ways. There are things that are creeping in. And it is this creep that, quite frankly, makes me concerned. And I think a lot of you, if you're paying attention to it, you're also likewise probably concerned about it. You know, some places you go and you see beggars in the street, you see street vendors all over the place. You can't be in your car without someone coming up and wanting to, wash your windshield for a little 50 cents and all this sort of thing. Cayman has traditionally never had those things. We've never had homeless people sleeping on the streets. We haven't had people sleeping on the Iron Shore, drug addicts all over the place. I mean, we expect that in big cities. Big cities like, Los Angeles, California. I don't know if it's as bad as, if San Francisco has it as bad, but, LA has a huge homelessness problem. Jamaica, you expect to see people in the big cities, especially Kingston, at night, sleeping under buildings, sleeping on the sidewalks. You can't even, sit in traffic without being harassed by somebody. The tourists complain like they can't go anywhere because they're constantly being harassed. And so Cayman has been different, thankfully. But then you see certain little things happening that make you go, no. This looks and feels like we're about to have this creep happen. And so that's not good. Some people will laugh at this guy who was performing in the street yesterday. I don't personally. Oops. Oh, this monitor's driving me crazy. I don't actually find his performance. Somebody said honest work. No. That's not Cayman. We have got to understand when something is going to become a much bigger issue. Okay? And when it starts, if you don't nip it in the proverbial bud immediately, you're going to end up regretting this. This looks to some of you like honest work. You're okay with this? Not a problem. Honest work. I mean, no. Who is he? First of all, that's the first question I have. Is he here in a work permit? Is he a Caymanian? I figured if he was a Caymanian, most of you would know exactly who he is. And since no one has actually identified this guy, I kind of feel like this cannot be a Caymanian. What is he doing on our streets? This is not street performance time. So we gotta set the standard. Either we want to be like every place else, which means that we're gonna see all of the downtrodden elements of our society on public display, or we're gonna say no. There's certain things here in Cayman that is not who we are, and we are going to ensure that those things do not become part of our culture. Because after a while, we get used to these things, we adapt to them, And next thing you know, what are you going to do about it? Everybody's out here performing in the streets, claiming that it's an honest day's work. Those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, let me show you the video. So apparently there was this guy yesterday, I'm assuming in the morning, at this major intersection doing some sort of performance with a hat and some, what do you call those juggling things? I don't even know what they're called, those things. Like a proper clown in the middle of the street. And so we cannot sit down and think that this is humorous right in the middle of what's considered a pretty busy intersection. If the man had any sense, can I tell you that he wouldn't even be out there? Because, hello, who in their right mind does this when every other intersection you get licked down, by a vehicle, an e-bike or something in the middle of the streets? Siobhan, good morning. Good to see you here. She says, yep, it's a circus. Isn't that wild? So I don't even know what he's doing. I don't know why he's doing it. Does he have mental health issues? Nobody in their right mind does this at an intersection. I'm just saying. What's going on here? What's the end game? This is normal? Y'all think this is normal? Y'all are okay with this? Siobhan says, I didn't find it funny at all. Risa says, I was concerned that he'd be hit by a vehicle and not a smart choice, right? Honey child, has he not seen the accidents and came out, especially at that intersection? Oh my God. That intersection is famous for having not the most, but the most serious accidents, right? Because you got four-way traffic, you got people turning, you got people trying to run through lights. It's just low key, high key, crazy. And he's actually interrupting traffic. Like, he is a distraction. Not that drivers need any more distractions. So if anybody has any insight into who he is and what he was doing out there, I went by later in the morning, and was it the morning or afternoon when I drove through there? I think it was later in the afternoon, actually, and I didn't see him. So I'm assuming this was some kind of morning traffic vibe, kicking up his hat, doing all kind of performances, street performer. Hermes says they're watching too much YouTube videos. Abby says, I don't think his work permit includes street performing, just saying. I mean, I have no clue who this guy is. You see, the one thing I do know is the chances of him being a Caymanian are pretty slim. Because if he was, let me turn on the other light here. If he was, somebody would have already identified him. They would have been like, auntie, that's so-and-so, cousin, brother, twice removed, and here's his whole life story. We don't have any of those details, so I feel like, he's here, and how is he here? Speaking of creep, there is something else that is happening here, and I don't want to make this a Caymanian versus expat issue because it isn't. But we have very little choices when it comes to who we have here that are Caymanians. Like, if your granny was born in West Bay and you just a bad seed, we can't just kick you off the island. We can't be like, oh, you go to Cuba, you go to the UK, you go to the USA. We encourage them to go. So, it's kind of like when I hear some of my family members, the UK, they get that UK passport. They're like, oh, yes, the UK is so wonderful. I'm not going to tell them the realities of life in the UK. I'm here like, yes, I've heard such wonderful things about the UK. You should go on an adventure, try it out. I'm trying to get rid of them and hope that they never come back. But honestly, this is their home. So of course, they will come back. But what I find happening lately is we are adopting a lot of foreign nationals, giving them PR and sometimes even status. And then learning that they have some serious issues. And I'm going to talk about a few of them here this morning. And so I am all about welcoming people who want to be productive members of this community. And we have a lot of expats who have certainly done that. They have adopted Cayman as their first home, not even their second home. Some of them like, oh, I've been home. And, I met a guy the other day. I was at Walk and Roll on Sunday, I think it was. Was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. Yeah. And he was saying how him and his wife have been here for 35 years. And I said, where are you originally from? And he was telling me he's from Colombia. And he said, we were looking for something different. That's why people come here. And so they have a home, I think, in Miami. They've got people in Miami. And he's like, we decided to come here. And it was just so amazing, such an amazing experience. We never wanted to leave. And I said, I understand that sentiment. Cayman is an amazing, wonderful, beautiful place, right? Sometimes a little backwards, but that's what makes us endearing. You take the good with the bad, not perfect. But what I see happening is we're now adopting people who, in my humblest of opinions, shouldn't be here. And I think part of what's happening is they're okay till they get to a certain stage. Once they get PR and status, then we start to see a different side of them. I'm going to give you a few examples. And this is why when we talk about, for example, the Larry and Linda situation, why it was so important for you guys to stop him from even getting to PR. Because ultimately, it is infinitely more difficult when they get to that stage to then stop the creep of the creepy. Some of these people are downright nasty people, narcissistic, thieves, liars, child molesters. I mean, they're criminals. Some are not criminals, but they have so many other issues that they are undesirable. And I think we got to have a better control on who we are just opening our arms to. Come on in, honey chill. And this ain't it. He was there in the afternoon, Mr. Amelia. When I passed by, I didn't see him. But, he sounds like a Cuban. Did you talk to him? Oh, Mr. Amelia says he sounds like a Cuban. Now, not to be prejudiced, I'm going to give you all this background information. Mr. Amelia has Honduran connections. So when she talks to someone, she speaks Spanish fluently. When she speaks to another Spanish speaker, she's in a much better position than most of us to be able to say where he's from, right? So I don't think she's saying that trying to be prejudiced. She's like, she spoke to him. Hello?
Yeah, what's going on, blood?
Hey, why are you calling my phone? Why does it say new contact name? Johan Moxham. What number are you calling from?
This is my burner.
You trying to call me? Why? You're not supposed to be on air. How can I help you, Johan?
Am I on air?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of my show.
Can people hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I never curse then. I'm not gonna use no inappropriate language or call anybody names. Hold on for 1 second. One second.
What?
Hold on for 1 second. I just gotta get out of here. Hold on. What I was calling for is I just listened because I was driving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not being anti-expat, I'm not being anti-foreigner, I'm not being racist or anything. But at some point, the government of the day, and that's all the bright people that are elected, if 19 MPs, can't agree that we need to have a process where we are reviewing everybody that was given political asylum.
Hold on a second. How is it that I have you in jail and you still calling me? Somebody says hang up because Johan don't understand how rules work.
I just trying to do something as a patriotic Caymanian because very few people think how I think or say what I say, but I know I do it because of my country, and I don't want it to be overrun with crazy, ungrateful people that have managed to leave their country and don't think that they can come and do what they want in ours.
You can write all of that in the comment section. You're pushing boundaries, Johan. You're pushing.
But all I'm saying is, forgive me. Can we please request that the immigration work asylum board, the work permit board, everybody that is responsible for allowing non-Caymanians to come live here, work here, or if you're an asylum seeker and you've been given political asylum, a review process where we're actually assessing whether you are mentally stable, whether you are of sound mind and body, and making a positive contribution, because everybody has the right to go back to their home country or anywhere else that they need to be. We don't need to import poverty, craziness, criminality, and ungrateful attitudes from people that really and truly are just taking advantage of the kindness and generosity of Cayman, the Cayman Islands government, and more importantly, the Caymanian people. There's increasing persons that are here that really don't understand. You gotta fit in and you gotta do better. And if you don't like it, and if you can't do that, the government needs to have policies in place where we take away those rights. But more importantly, we deport them and we send them back home. Because if this place, we wouldn't tolerate it from a Caymanian. So why are we tolerating it from an outsider?
All right, thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Clearly we need to put that block feature in my personal phone as well for you, Han, during the show. Y'all sit there. I agree that is pushing boundaries. That's next level. You're blocked from calling the show, but you can find a way. What is he going to do? Ring the doorbell next? Say, let me in the house so I can join you in the studio? Somebody said, don't answer him. I'm going to think about that because that's one of those low-key moves. Listen, everything your hand has said is sensible. This is why you follow the rules, people, so that you can participate. Of course he has a point. Jessica, he always has a point. But if you want to participate in our conversations, you know the rules that you have to operate by, and they're not really that difficult. I don't expect a lot of you all. All right, next time, no answering of that phone call from Johan. Sorry for you. Here comes Miss, what's her name? I bet you she's gonna defend him. Watch her. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
If you get your match this morning, you are fix you up good.
My goodness.
Good, you are fix you up.
My goodness.
Oh, God. Take him out jail. I come bail him. Oh, my God. All right. Love you all. Take care.
Okay. Now I know why some of y'all children out here are just misbehaving, because y'all can't put your foot down and maintain a position. No wonder they're so bad. On parole already? My goodness, that was the easiest parole I've ever seen. Raymond says, technically, he didn't call the show number, Your Honor. I think he was blocked from calling the show, though. So anyway, he's disturbing me. I wonder if anyone called the police about the street performer. Let's ask the popo and see. But I just chuckled when somebody said that. I know Caymanians don't know how to do no street performances. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like this is something that we should be encouraging. And, because what next? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a slow creep sometimes. We accept this, and then, you're going to show up in some other, now we have street dancers, and we have, there must be some venue for him to express himself. Didn't we have a circus performance the other day where y'all could go to the circus? Maybe they're looking for local talent next time. And he can get out there and perform. I don't know. Miami has Cirque du Soleil and other things if he wants to perform. Alfred Real says, Sandra, if you and I were dating and you break out with me, still take my calls, you hear? No, sir. We're going to talk about stalkers at 9:30, because that is actually some of what we need to discuss. Definitely there is behavior there that one should recognize when you see it. Jam says free brownies. Oh my gosh. Poor Johan pleading his case. All right, so there's that level of craziness, but this goes deeper. I'm going to give you some examples as of late that has really got me to thinking about this topic. And I kind of brushed on it last week when I said, what's going on with the expats in Cayman? There was a time when they came here, like honestly, And they were like, we're not screwing up this opportunity. We're going to behave. You know, we respect Cayman, all these things. They kind of kept their nasty behavior like low key. Because, yeah, they were still doing the cocaine and fornicating all over the place, whatever, but they kept it on the down low. So it was only if you really had good sources or you were the Caymanians that was on the boats with them, with the sex parties and stuff. That was the only way that you knew about this other side of Cayman. They weren't so blatant with it. Now they're showing up in the court system. They're fighting each other. They're doing the most. And I'm just like, what is going on? Here's another example. This one is crazy. You saw the story about the nurse at HSA who accessed somebody else's records. Can I tell y'all that I actually have the backstory to this? I was so surprised when I saw it pop up in court because one of the reasons why I said what I said last week about these expats coming here doing the most is because of this case. I was made aware of it and I was like, oh, she did what? Let me give y'all some of the background story, honey child. So she is Canadian, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly from my source. She's Canadian and she knows some guy here who is Eastern European. I can't remember which Slavic country he's from, one of those countries. Right? And apparently he is having baby mama drama. There was a time when they wouldn't, what? But child, they're here doing the most. I'm going to try to get his name. He is one of Stephen Cohen's, and Stephen is, as far as I know, an okay, upstanding guy. He's been here for a while. I think he first came here and started working with Barreau. And then he, let me put on my face moisturizer before I forget, my face serum. Then he, you know, has branched out and opened his own businesses. He has, I think he's part owner in the agency. And they've just started some new agency recruitment, but for like legal law firms and whatever. Boy, they can find some some gaps in the businesses that exist to fill. That's like low-key crazy. But anyway, so this guy is apparently one of Stephen's partners. I'm going to get his name later on for y'all because he is a special kind of expat. And by the way, I hear he's trying to get PR or status or something next. Please, God, somebody step in because we don't need these people here. So he's having some baby mama drama. They going on like they straight from West Bay and East End, boy. All these baby mamas and doing the most. So he got some baby mama drama where he's trying to do stuff to the baby mama, control her and all sorts of other foolishness, right? So there were medical professionals at HSA who saw his behavior and they were concerned about what he was doing. So supposedly they put something in the file to say, we don't want him coming to the HSA around this woman and this child because we have concerns. Now he thinks that he is somebody special, above the law, right? So what does he do? He has his friend, let me get you her picture because y'all need to see who I'm talking about. This chick here, he has her break into somebody's medical records at the HSA so that she could tell him what is on file for this woman. What did the doctors say? What did the nurses say? What did the midwife say about me? And listen, this is the kind of stupid that is so incredibly different. You only do something like this if you and this man have some kind of special relationship. And I don't know the nature of that friendship, but that is a deep kind of friendship. Hold on, let me look for her picture. Hold on. Because I'm sitting here going, who does this? How do you, some friend is going to call you, tell you basically to jeopardize your job and break into a record that you had no business looking at. She was not in that department. There would be absolutely no reason why she should have been accessing this woman's records, and then you share information with a third party. She should be going to jail for a very long time. It is people like her, and I'm so glad that she's not a Caymanian, but it is people like her that make us all fearful of, this is why we don't want to participate in when they're asking us to give them information about our businesses, about our lives, because of people like this woman right here. Keep in mind, the allegation is there. She's not yet been convicted. Her name is Fiona Claire Coffey, or Kofi, don't know how she pronounces it. And she pled not guilty, but I'm going to tell you why I am really shocked that she's pleading not guilty. Because she actually admitted to it on more than one occasion. That's how HSA fired her backside. Well, that, and they had the audit trail. So I don't know what she's pleading not guilty to. Seriously. Right? What is wrong with these people? Pretty and not a lick of sense, apparently. Anyway, yep, that's her. Had this man, I'm going to get his name. I'm going to go on. Oh, she's Irish. Let me get the baby daddy name. So she's Irish. And he is European. I'm gonna tell you which country here in a second. So anyway, she breaks in to the HSA system, accesses somebody else's record, has a look at it, and then shares that information with him. Now, here's the craziest part of all of this story. He is so bold. Let me go look him up on the website. The agency legal recruitment. Okay, man. Let's see if we can find him. He is so bold. The agency legal talent, offshore legal recruitment, right? He is so incredibly bold that he starts to tell other people, look here, this is when you're snorting too much stuff. Something not right here. He starts to tell other people, okay, that, oh yes, I've got a contact at HSA that went into the records, and it's like, huh? His big mouth. They say this though. I guess this is probably part and parcel of someone being a narcissist, that they tell them themselves because they think they're above the law, that nobody's gonna, say anything to them. No, they can't be held accountable. It's just like, what? So then my understanding is the patient made a query about this. Now, here's where, again, I have to call HSA to account, because listen to how this story really go. You see, these are the nuggets that you're not going to hear firsthand in court, but I'm going to give you what's really going on here. That's why I love CMR, isn't it? Right? Facts. HSA said, no, we'll check. No. There was no breach. That's what they first told her, that there was no breach. You can imagine. HSA got it wrong. My God. Who else might be looking at your records? No, sir. So they told her no. And then like a month or two later, they come back and said, oh, we got it wrong. There was a breach. And it's like, what? How did you get that wrong exactly? I mean, HSA, what? What was going on there? And so she admitted it to them. He's from Iran with British papers. I don't think so. Not the guy I'm talking about. I soon tell you. Oh, I got his picture. All right. No, he's not Iranian. He's European. I think one of the Slavic countries. I'm going to show you guys who he is here in a second. And then I'm going to get his name. His picture's on the website. Anywho, yeah. So HSA is like, no. Then they came back, oops, sorry. Turns out she did access, somebody did access your record. And so, you know, she admitted it to them on more than one occasion. Then they fired her. And it's like, wow. Of course they should fire her. And now she's facing criminal charges. So she showed up in court, right? And thank God, I mean, the DPP sometimes does get certain things right. Accused of unlawfully accessing someone's medical records, this is considered a very serious breach. And she pled, good old Fiona here, decides to plead guilty to the charge of knowingly obtaining the personal data without the data controller's consent. Really? Wow. What a hot mess. Again, some of these expats are coming here. She's on contract with HSA, being very, very bold. Girl, you do that back in Ireland. Oh, he's from the UK. I thought he was some European country. You do not do that in the Cayman Islands. Take your dirty, stinking ways and keep it in your home country. No insult meant, but if you're taking it as an insult, then you probably got some dirty, stinking ways. Why? Let me show you who she was trying to help, because I need to get his name, because my understanding now is that like I said, is trying to move on to status or something else, not even paying his current PR fees from what I understand. And we have got to put a stop to him. I don't care what business he owns in Cayman. I have started to hear stuff about him that indicates that he is not a good person to have as a member of our community. Now, the irony of it is, someone said, by the way, someone mentioned something about HIPAA, and they said that's US legislation. So we have data protection, and we also have, because this is definitely a data breach, we also have their charges in relation to, what's the offense called? Like breach of public trust. So this woman this sounds like this is under the data protection law that they're charging her. But there are other things that they probably could have charged her with as well. I'm like, imagine for a second. You're so close to this guy. Let me show you his picture. Hold on. You're so close to him that you are going to allow him to jeopardize, because you know you here now from Ireland because you got a better life here, less taxes, you know, you're living your best life, brunching all the time, full makeup, always looking good, whatever, right? And so you have this amazing life in the Cayman Islands, sun and fun and sex and the whole 9 yards, just having a good time. And you're going to make this man mess it up for you? How? How do you do that? Like, I don't understand it. Why? Why would you let him do that? It's just crazy to me. But that's exactly what she did. Put everything on the line for him. I'm just like, wow. He must really be special for Fiona to take such a chance in life. Poor Fiona got her Facebook profile locked now. Poor thing. Honey child, we already got your pictures. Too late. So what I'm going to say is, unfortunately, because of how this was done, he thinks he's going to get away scot-free with this. Vanessa says he's sexist. Child, please. When she's behind jail, all the amount of sex in the world not gonna help her. He out here living his best life with 5 other women, and she's gonna be behind jail. Irvlin says because he's a punk. Allie, good morning. Yeah, I don't know, Siobhan. Siobhan Berry says leverage. I don't know what's going on here. To me, this is like crazy. Of course, I hope she can be deported. What kind of status does she have? As far as I know, she was just working at the HSA on a contract. So yeah, she needs to go. From Coban, Cork, Ireland. Sorry, Obcombe. I don't know how to pronounce that. Cork, Ireland. I've never been to Ireland. I want to go one day. Heard it's beautiful. But yep, not a lick of sense, obviously, to jeopardize her livelihood for this man. And I don't think he's going to be paying your bills, girl, because I've heard enough about him and how incredibly cheap he is. Like he just wants to use you women, that I think you might have just ruined your life for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So of course once she serves her jail time, because she should go to jail for this, she needs to get out of here. Straight on that BA flight. Bye-bye. Toodaloo. What a hot mess. Girl. Why? Oh, I see she's all over social media, of course, trying to pose off and live her best life. Well, girl, I hope it was worth it to you. I really do. Because I don't know. I just don't know. This is wild. But this is what I'm telling you about. These are some of the people now that we're importing into our beautiful island who have no respect for Cayman, no respect for our laws, and they're doing things that are unlawful, illegal, and harming other people. You know what it is to have your medical records accessed by somebody else, right? In an organization that you should be trusting with your information. Strong Will says he's a waste man, right? Of the British sort. He's a waste man of the British sort. Yeah? Scrubs. Scrubs can come in a suit too. They can be business owners. They can be living their best pretense life, building a big house, doing all this thing. That does not make them a scrub. You understand me? Yes. What's the opposite of a scrub? What's a female scrub? They out here just living this lifestyle, and they're not good people. They're not law-abiding people. Such a shame if he had any. And then this girl, what's her name again? Fifi. She goes by Fifi. Fiona, aka Fifi, is just, I'm like, why, Fiona? That was so dumb. You think that you could ever get a job now somewhere else? There's Fifi. Aw. Living that Caribbean life, honey child, showing off that little itsy bitsy bikini. Yeah? Oh, Fifi. My God. You got to do better, girl. Anyway, she decided to plead guilty in a court of law. So someone's like, how can she plead guilty when she admitted to HSA? Well, the court is different. They hand you the bundle to your lawyer, your case, whatever, and you plead guilty or not guilty. She has opted to plead not guilty. I think that this should be a relatively open and shut case if the HSA has the audit trail system in place that they should. No one should ever be able to access your medical records at HSA or any medical facility on island. And there's not an audit trail, just like when you're in QuickBooks and all these other things, there's an audit trail that is right there. El Rey says Fifi got a flea. Child, Tracy, don't give her that passport. Tell me she won't go on a vacation because she will never come back. And now, when you go back to Ireland or wherever the heck you're going next to try and find a job, this is the kind of thing, Fifi, that will follow you forever. Everybody's going to be like, oh, Fifi was the one who accessed somebody's medical records. No medical facility anywhere in the right thinking world is going to hire you ever again. Was it worth it? That's the only question I got. Marshall says the name for female scrub is called Fifi. Oh, Marshall, you're so silly. But for all the Fifis in the world where you're doing something for some boy toy to try to make him happy, don't do it. Don't do it. Wow. Girl, you might as well just take that towel and just boing, throw that in and fall on your sword. When you did something like this, yeah, throw the book at her. That's right. Just admit it and be like, okay, I did it. I'm, yeah. What a hot mess. Okay. So that's example number 1. That's actually number 3 of crazy expat moments. I feel like this could be a regular in our show because they're popping up a lot more often. And this is not a good thing. I'm not impressed. That creep needs to go too. Yes, him. Oh, hold on. Let me get his name. I think somebody might have the name for me. Let me see. There's Stefan. There's Vanessa. There is. Oh, yes. Here he is. Got him. His name. He's from the UK, but I feel like he's originally from some. He probably came by way of the UK. But his name is Payam Montaziri. Yeah. So he's part of the team there at the agency recruitment firm, but now they have this specialty called legal or something, trying to pawn their what they're selling on us. He's Iranian. See, I knew it. I told you. So here we go. Oh, he's Iranian, but went by way of the UK. I thought he was from somewhere else in Europe. Anyway, we'll take it. Irvlin seems to know exactly who he is, honey chow. So here is some details on him, on his little mock-up here. As a senior recruitment specialist based in the Cayman Islands, Payam has quickly established himself as Cayman's leading go-to legal recruiter. Chat, please. He's organized, friendly, and takes an honest approach to recruitment. Honest, questionable. Friendly, oh, I'm sure he's very friendly. Organized, I don't know about that. He prides himself on market knowledge, network, and strategic approach to the hiring process, coming from a legal background himself. Oh, really? What legal background? What did he do? He was a lawyer? Let me see. Payam, what's the last name? Oh, God, this is one of those last names, honey child, that you got to copy and paste because you'll never spell it right. Montaziri. Let me see. This whole time, my computer's just flashing. It's so annoying. Marlon, I hope you don't have to buy me a new monitor, honey child, because this isn't going to be good. All right, hold on one second. Let me see if I can find out a little bit more about our friend here. This is an old picture of him or what? Oh, he looked better before, I can be honest with you. He's not really aging all that well. This before picture, before COVID, he looked a whole lot better. Maybe it's the haircut or something, but I'm not that impressed. Okay, well, anyway, he's part of the agency team. Not for nothing, but didn't the agency name come up recently with something else as well? I'm trying to recall exactly what that was. One of the owners of the real estate part of the agency. Are they connected? They all are using the same name. So is there some connection? Remember, he was the one I think involved in a DUI or something. Some kind of mixed-up story. Anyway, so yeah, so this is him. And boy, what a hot mess. And you see now, he doesn't get charged with anything, which is low-key kind of crazy when you think about it, because he should be charged. he's the reason why she did it. But of course, she's an adult. She didn't have to do it. Here's an older picture of him. He actually looked better here, as far as I'm concerned. Which one do y'all prefer? Picture number one, or number two? Anywho, there's the hot mess that's going on with this guy who I understand is part owner of the agency legal. He just needs to do better. And again, this dude is talking about he wants status. He wants to become a Caymanian. In what world do we want you, son? Absolutely not. Status application board. Number one, he's not paying his fees for his PR. So please, we don't need no scrubs who don't, they come here with their cheapness, don't want to pay the relevant fees. Someone says he's buying real estate to get PR, and he hasn't been paying child support. I can get you more information, but you can't let anyone know I told you. Oh, honey child, you bring it all to me. Bring it all to me. Call me when you're done. Yes, sir. He got his mom involved, who's pretending to be a medical doctor. What? We're going to get to the fake medical doctors here in a second. But another one? OMG. Looks like we're going to have a whole show on, what's his name again? Payam? Ooh, honey child. We can't have you getting status in Cayman. Absolutely not. Status board, please pay attention. These people are out here showing their true colors. And when they are, we need to be aware and cognizant of exactly what shenanigans they're up to. This is the kind of person we want to give status to? Absolutely not. Let's have some standards. Wow. Jessica wants to know what department she was working on. All right, HSA people, come on through. Tell me what department at HSA he was in, or she was in. I don't know, but she was in a department that should have been looking at this woman's records. That's what I know. Oh, yes, that was James Lagan, the yacht club roundabout high-end Audi accident. Yes. What's going on over at the agency? Ran from the scene. Thank you so much for the reminder. I mean, not for nothing, but is the agency, do they have some special kind of water over there? Not the good water from Flowers? Because, Flowers gives you good, clean water. They have water that's contaminated with stupidity, obviously. Little criminals. But they think they can buy their way out of things because, they fronting with some money. They got money, so they think they can buy their way out of things. He's trying to buy real estate, trying to buy a house so he can get, no, there has to be more to your application than that. Okay, so I'm putting the PR and status board on notice about him and his mother too. How is she even here? All right, wake up the Cayman Islands. Good morning. Says if you see where they live in the UK, you would be shocked. That's why they land in Cayman. They go crazy. Well, the land of milk and honey and sunshine and everything else, sand and sea and, sand, what is it? Sand, sea, and sun? Yeah. And apparently some good money too, for probably very unqualified individuals, because I want to know what supposedly his legal background is. Come and see that hot mess. Ugh. Let me see if I can find him. Hold on. Gotta do a little bit more real-time digging. Anyway, we've got our eyes on him, so we're going to be keeping abreast of this situation. And he's not going to get away scot-free. He might not have criminal charges coming his way, but I tell you what, he should have some other charges coming his way in terms of you don't get to stay in this country, boo-boo. No. Let me see if I can find him somewhere else. See what else I can dig up on him. Let me see what he claims he's done. What's his claim to fame here? New law solicitors. He was a litigator. Lord Jesus, for a year and 10 months in Greater Bristol area. That means that he was probably an abject failure. I mean, you only work as a lawyer for a year and then all of a sudden you go into recruitment. Let me be very clear. you probably wasn't a great lawyer. So here's his CV, because you don't know, we need to know what's going on here. So he's a lawyer for less than 2 years, and then he gets into recruitment, comes to Cayman, and lives his best possible life. You see, this is where I got questions about immigration, you know. How do you go from being a solicitor to a recruiter, and somehow somebody actually rubber stamped this application? Okay, so he did recruitment. So he went from being a lawyer, a litigator, new law solicitors, like I said, less than 2 years. Then he went into recruitment for a year and a half in greater Bristol area. Then CML recruitment is able to have him come here. You see that? You see the jump? This is how it's done. We need to pay attention. Then he comes to CML. He says, my remit was across Bermuda, BVI, and the Cayman Islands. He works for CML for a good bit of time there. Oh no, I lie. Another job hopper, 1 year and 3 months. Then he goes on to the agency Cayman for 5 years and 4 months, accountable for the legal recruitment, blah, blah, blah. So he gets his foot in the door with CML. That's Steve. What's Steve's name over there? Steve. Can't remember Steve. And then he goes now and he's co-owner. Y'all see this? I want you to pay attention. Becomes co-owner of the agency Legal Talent for the past year and 10 months. Wow. Okay. Wow. This is crazy. And I'm not listen, if you're able to do it, you're able to go from a third-rate solicitor, most likely, to, you know, working for a recruitment firm, working for another recruitment firm, and now you're co-owner. Good for you. Except you don't get to come to Cayman with your bad attitude, your shenanigans, right? Trying to constantly put women down, tearing down the place with your bad behavior, not paying your PR fees, abusive psychologically, encouraging people to break the law. You don't get to do all of that and have the privilege of remaining here. That's what I'm saying. He could have done his jumping around, his job hopping, as he did, to become co-owner of the agency Legal Talent. But you got to keep on the straight path. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Honey child, how you doing?
I just hear you mention co-owner.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. That is one of the other scam.
Yeah. Hello.
That is going on to get through the status board.
Yes. Talk to me. Mm-hmm.
That is one of the other scam.
Yeah.
I know persons who have gone through it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So those are the things that they need to look at. Co-owner, just to get through the status board. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Thank you. We know. And here's something else as an aside that I want to talk about. Someone makes a comment here where they say the agency has Coke too. CML equals Steve McIntosh brought him in. FML co-owner, ? He's a con man. And to that person's point, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So to that person's point, what come Stacey, to that person's point, what I want to say is he makes a very, very valid point, and we see it happening all the time. Zeus is like, why are you waking me up? We see it happening all the time where they actually somehow get into agreements with people where they're going to front a little bit of money, probably sweat equity more than anything else. And then all of a sudden, they're supposedly a co-owner. Larry's doing the exact same thing with his company. Remember Larry and Linda? Oh, sorry. I got to sit for a little bit. My knee been kind of aching. I don't know if it's because of the weather, what's going on. So yeah, so Larry is out here, co-owner, and then takes out his own work permit. And of course, the company lying about what he does in the company. There's too much foolishness going on here. So yes, he claims he's co-owner now and trying to set himself up to be able to buy his way into Cayman status. And I'm telling you that once they get to that point where they have Cayman status, nothing we can do. So let's prevent it from happening. Now, let's talk about the white stuff. What do y'all call it? That's not the Mary Jean. The Mary Jean is the puffing stuff. The white stuff is, what do we call it? The white lady? I can't keep up with you young people. But the white lady, I believe that's the term that is being used in this day and age. Really and truly, some of y'all need to do better. The drugs in Cayman is rampant. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's an element of Cayman that they're functional druggies, right? So they're not the ones that we're going to obviously see laying out on the side of the street. The crack is hitting too hard. The cocaine is hitting really hard. They don't have a house. No, that's not them. I'm going to make a suggestion here that I know is going to be very, very controversial. And some of you expats, you're not going to be my friends after today. You're going to be like, oh no, Sandy has lost the plot. We can't have that. But how about we start doing some random drug testing for these people in PR, work permits, and status holders? I'm in support of it for Caymanians too. Don't get me wrong. But you don't have an application that they have to fill out that you can justify a random drug test. You get me? Yeah. Because I think if we had the power to randomly drug test some of these individuals, you would see exactly how much cocaine is running through the streets of Cayman. Okay. And this is, because you are of a particular type of person who can snort it. I guess, is that how they're doing it? You snort cocaine, right? Forgive me for being ignorant when it comes to drugs. Yes, snorting the cocaine, and you're still functional. You still kind of show up to work. You can party and drink and carry on. But because you still show up to work and you still produce and you can still get these white collar, I was about to say white collar criminals. I meant to say white collar, geez, I'm peace. Not the criminals, but the white collar clients. That's what I wanted to say. My mutt was just not having it. It's like, no, Sandy, they're all white collar criminals. No. White collar clients. Yeah. So because they're white collar clients and they can get, they meet their targets, everybody else is turning a blind eye. But I can't turn a blind eye when people are saying to me from very, very reliable sources that, Sandy, have somebody go drug test him right now. Right? Because then you'll have the facts. People who are in the know, this is what they're saying. Okay, the mom is not here. She come and went back. But she's troubled too for doing what she did. Well, we need to find out what she did. The boy is a cokehead. He's recruiting people from overseas, bringing them here too, not hiring Caymanians. And he's doing all of that just so he can get PR. Wow. Oh my goodness. My apologies. Uh-oh. That had, let's see this information from yesterday. Let me remove that real quick. Right. Tips at Cayman Mall Road. That's the. All right. My apologies. I didn't see that it had put that information there. So yeah, this is what's going on. Welcome to the Cayman Islands. Now, you're sitting here thinking, Sandy, this is wild. Someone says, yes, random drug testing with accountability. Shame on Stefan Cohen. Does Stefan Cohen know? Right? Because I'm beginning to wonder. Because you sit back and You allow this to happen right under your noses. My apologies. She pled not guilty. Yes, thank you. Just to make it very, very clear. She pled, this is the woman now, Fifi. Fifi pled not guilty in court. Someone said they heard me say that she pled guilty. No, she pled not guilty in court, although to her employer, aka HSA, she admitted it and they fired her backside. But there you go. Now she's in court. She's going to tell a different story. Hi, Fifi. Okay, girl. All right. Now you're probably sitting here thinking, this story, this can't get any wilder. This is Expat Wednesday segment. Cannot get any wilder. Surely you are done with highlighting some of the not so good expats that we have here. And listen, if you're one of the good ones, I assure you, you have nothing to ever fear from CMR. You're good. Just like I tell my own Caymanians, right? They don't have to worry about me. Right? They're doing the right thing. They're good. But when you start to act up, honey child, well, then we might have something else to talk about. But we're not done. I have two more expats that I want to tell you about. What on earth? This cannot be real. They're taking out my whole show. Okay. The fake doctor. We got to talk about him a little bit this morning too. And then we got to talk about the Indian guy who's gone off his rockers and is tormenting people all over the Cayman Islands. Can you believe it? We've gone all over the globe today. Iran, UK, we're going to go to India. We are doing Ireland, Cuba. Everybody in the comment section is like, thank God there are no Jamaicans involved in today's show. I hear y'all. You're like, we can leave out the Jamaican community for once, right? Don't worry, Jamaica. Some of these people are giving y'all a run for your money with the scamming and the con artistry. Cheryl says it's a shame how these expats are coming here doing what they do, what they want, when you have educated Caymanians who can't get a job. Charlene says we've already got way too many with status that shouldn't have happened. Hell no. Siobhan says that is most people with money. They try to throw money at everything. Yeah, they think they can get away with it. Yeah. Someone should check where that money went when he was a lawyer. Pittance. Solicitors in the UK not making no pile of money. That's why they all want to come here. This is the money. Child, please. He probably lucky he's making 40 grand pounds or whatever that is. $40,000. Because they're a dime a dozen over there. He doesn't look like he was anything spectacular as a solicitor. I've never even heard of that firm before, but I can assure you that's no top-notch firm. New law solicitors, that's probably a neighborhood firm. Not that there's anything wrong with the neighborhood law firms. Claims that they're award-winning solicitors in England, Scotland, and Wales, specializing in personal injury, criminal injury, serious and catastrophic injuries, medical negligence. So they're like medical negligence. They do some wills and probates, you know. So he goes from that to doing what he's doing now. Isn't that interesting? What a leap. Aisle 2025 says too many expat business owners in Cayman. Mr. Amelia says, honey child, they comes here as a dishwasher. 2 weeks later, they jump to manager. Can you invite the work permit board on or the minister responsible? We can send the invitation, Aisle 2025. That minister is the Honorable Michael Miles. What a mess. Fear no evil, says the Coke can. Boy, I tell you what, that cocaine I'd be running hard. No, sir. Oh, well, whoever don't like it tough, they know they're not doing anything, then they're fine. So Ms. Siobhan is in, let's do a poll today. Random drug testing for people, PR holders and status holders. Okay, let's do a poll. I'll put it in the Let me see here now. Do you agree with random drug testing we should include work permit holders? So of course, work permit holders, because enough of them doing it too. Work permit holders, PR holders, permanent residents and status holders. Yes or no? Let's see what y'all think on this one. All right, go and follow the channel if you haven't already. Participate in the poll because I'm curious. Miss Charlene says, kaboom, random drug testing, yes, as there's such a thing as a functional addict. Kaboom! Very functional, apparently. Aisle 2025 says you need another show on work permits and residency with the people in charge. Okay, let me message Mr. Wesley. He was so helpful. Him and MP Wayne Panton came on the show last time. We can certainly request them to come back. But these are the things that they need to be investigating and looking into. Absolutely. You can't come to this country and not follow the laws of this country. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. Gabby says if they're not snorting up their nose, they're popping all kind of pills, right? Ecstasy and all this other stuff that they're into. Yes, yes, yes. What a hot mess. Tartarian says, what award? What award? You lost me there. I don't know. And the crack smoking. Jess, are they doing that too? I mean, I don't know. Listen, like I said, I'm not really part of that world. So this is information that I get from very reliable sources about how rampant it is. Y'all need to be testing the water on West Bay Road to see all the drugs that are in it. The poor fish probably getting high on something too. Siobhan, you don't follow our channel on WhatsApp. Let me send it to you. All right. So far, 100% of the people saying, there's only a handful, but they're saying, yep. Let them, let us, Siobhan. Oh gosh, Siobhan, I'm spelling your name wrong. Hold on. You have a very unusual name. S-I. There we go. I was putting that Y in there. Siobhan. Okay. Everybody's saying, yep, let's randomly drug test them. Ooh, honey child, a lot of y'all would not be getting PR. Oh, Lord have mercy. If someone went to Stefan, not Stefan, what's his name? Rahu? Hold on. What the heck was his name again? Wait a second, I totally forgot. Payam. If someone went up to Payam right now, said we're going to randomly drug test you. I'm not a betting person. However, I'm going to put some money on this one. It's going to come back positive. The tea is so good this morning. Miss Stacy, what did you put in the tea? It tastes good. Must be that Jamaican honey. Every neighbor can be your teacher. That's what the little quote says on it. I'm going to start putting this MCT oil in my tea. I don't drink coffee, but they say put it in anything hot in the mornings and it's supposed to be good for you. I'm going to try it. Send me the channel link. Ms. Dawn, can you WhatsApp me? I think I have you on WhatsApp. Hold on. I think I have you saved. I'm surprised how many people still don't follow the channel. Y'all be missing out on getting the news right to your own. I have a couple of Dawns here, but I don't think I'm not sure is this you? WhatsApp me and I'll give you the thing. So, oh yes, you can only be required to follow the law, says George. Morning, George. RMR says as part of the work permit and status application process, there should be drug testing, but you see, you can't do it when they think they're going to be tested. It needs to be random. Yeah. So you just show up one day and be like, oh, can we get a drug test done today? Because otherwise, they're going to be ready. Sarah says, I agree. If they break our laws, they lose their PR. If they went to any other countries, they would. Morning, Andrew says, do we have a drug and alcohol problem here in the islands? During work times, people are using drug and alcohol. Well, I'll tell you what we have here, especially with the white collar community, but it's not even just them, because I know, for example, people in some of these bars and restaurants and stuff, we have a good portion of the expat population here that are drug users, and we don't even know it. They do a phenomenal job of hiding their drug use. Now, I'm not even talking about alcohol, because yes, Andrew, alcohol is such an accepted drug, right? I've seen people go to brunch and they get drunk as a skunk, can't walk, leaving out of their, whatever. And they're okay, because we're like, oh, it's just they're just having a good time, brunch vibes, alcohol. No. So I'm not even talking about alcohol. That's a whole different cup of tea right over there. So I'm just talking about the more serious drugs. And so a lot of them, remember there was a guy who, he was working for one of the local restaurants and then he went MIA, and they'd asked for us to help find him. He had gone to Cayman Brac to get drugs because he used to work in Cayman Brac. So he had some links over there. And apparently, don't tell nobody I told you, but apparently, oh my God, I forgot to send out the links today. My bad. Sorry. Give me a second. Totally forgot this. The show been so hot today. Apparently, it is very, very easy to get drugs in Cayman Brac. Who knew? Even the expats know it. So they'll go over there for the weekend, stock up on the cocaine, and come back to Cayman. What a hot mess. So yes, I would say that we have, I don't know if I want to go as far as saying we have a drug problem, because there's good people like me and you who aren't doing it, obviously. But what I would say is we have a good percentage of the community who are doing drugs on a regular basis. Yes, they're snorting cocaine, they're taking their pills and all sorts of other stuff, and they just stay under radar. And it is happening. And they're functional, just like, remember the guy that was working at what was the name of that company management company that was connected to walkers? Oh Lord. The name is on the tip of my tongue. Let me see if I can find it. And they went and arrested him. He was a lawyer, and they arrested him for drugs. Somebody help me out here. What's the name of it? And then he for years was harassing me about taking the story down because he can't find a job. Yep. Something begins with an I or an L. Hold on. I know somebody who used to work there. Across from where Liberties was. But maybe that's the Walker's building. Intertrust. Yes. Thank you. Somebody's like, I'm helping you, laughing out loud. Read your messages. Intertrust. Yes. And he was like a director. They're now CSC. Because when people Google Intertrust, maybe that story is still coming up. Let me see. Intertrust. I'm trying to remember his name. So yeah, these people they're doing the most. Intertrust fined $4.2 million for anti-money laundering breaches. What? No wonder they had a name change. Remember this guy? This is one of our first stories back in 2008. Man, we got to do something for our anniversary. Our 30th anniversary. Our 9th anniversary is coming up on the 30th of this month. And we have had some stories, boy, let me tell you. CMR is where it be, honey chill. But remember this guy? Him. What was his name again? Ryan Schroeder. I wonder where Ryan is now. This was a hot story. We got video footage of him. CBC went in. And here's the crazy part about this story, right? This story is so interesting because Ryan, even when he was trying to go to the States, then he went and stole a taxi cab fare. This man was a hot mess, really hot mess. But for years, he would message me, "Oh, I can pay you to take down the story." And I was like, "Sir, go live your best life. I'm reformed now." He got a slap on the wrist from the Cayman judiciary because, you know, he's white and so is the powder stuff. And so he gets a second chance. Oh, he's a professional. I'm like, yeah, like they're not drug addicts. Some of them, their nose be falling apart because of the drugs that they're doing. Anyway, this had a Cayman connection. That's the wild thing about this particular story and how he even got caught up, because his supplier was one of those young Caymanian guys who was bringing in the drugs to the airport, and they got caught. So they gave him up like you give up, you know, that carb that you're not supposed to be eating. Speaking of carbs, Miss Stacy, 9:30 soon come. We gonna need some breakfast this morning, honey child. We got any breadfruit? Let me see. I gotta put in my breakfast requests because I need some eggs and breadfruit here this morning. So yeah, so Schroeder, poor him, hot mess and then some. I hope he sorted himself out. But he was on me for years. "Miss, please, please, please remove it." And I said, "No, sir. I wouldn't be removing it for Caymanian. Why would I be removing it for you? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, honey child." We are an equal opportunity reporter. Anyway, he's a hot mess, or was a hot mess. But yes, you know, they're working like him. So because they show up to work and because they're functional, right? You don't look at the fact that maybe the reason why they can work 20-hour days is because they're being fueled by drugs. That's what gives them that energy to work, you know, nonstop. And the companies don't care. They're like, once you incorporate in companies, what was he, director of U.S. private equity and corporate? Yeah. They don't care about none of that. They're just like, get the job done. We don't care how you're doing it. If you got to be strung out on coke, then good for you. What a hot mess. All right, so let's talk about the Cuban doctor who's actually not a doctor in this jurisdiction. Somebody said yesterday, "Oh, he's such a good doctor." He's not a doctor. What is going on around here? Lord Jesus, take the wheel. So this guy, I've never seen him before. I don't know who he is, but apparently he's a basketball coach. You know, he's been here for a while. He's married to Caymanian. Poor her. And so he was not able to get qualified as an attorney. And as an attorney, hear me now. Lord have mercy. Y'all like, "Sandy, what drugs are you on today?" I'm sorry. I'm doing too many things at once. I promise you. You can drug test me anytime. Clean as a whistle. I've never even smoked a cigarette in my life. Oh God, hold on. Lord Jesus, hold on one second. So yeah, just updating my links because I forgot to do that at the beginning of the show. So he actually has wanted to get qualified in Cayman. Okay, so my understanding is he's qualified in Cuba. I don't know how long he's been here, but he's been here donkey years. He is a doctor in Cuba, but you know, Cayman has our board, medical, what is it called? MDC, Medical and Dental Council or whatever. They license people. And you can't just say, "Oh, I'm a doctor overseas. I'm going to come become a doctor in Cayman." There is a process, rightfully so, that you have to go through in order to get called to the profession here. Lawyers, same thing, right? But with a physician, you're in a little bit of a different situation because these are people's lives, right? So Bobo over here decides that regardless of not being able to get called to Cayman, and you have to ask yourself this question, why? Why hasn't he been able to become a physician in the Cayman Islands? Well, My understanding is, and I mean, this is kind of sad in a way, but too bad, too sad. Not really. His language, the language barriers have been something that has really impacted his ability to move forward in the profession. So in other words, his English has been poor all of these years that he cannot pass the necessary examinations in Cayman. Now, that's crazy to me, right? I know we're not asking for perfection in the language, but it's important for you to speak the language sufficiently enough to, know what a colonoscopy is, for example. I mean, and not have to tell you what it is in Spanish. So listen, if you can't get called to the bar, if you can't get called to the medical council, then you should not be out in the streets practicing on people. Because there's no accountability. And I know some people are like, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is when he kills one of y'all, you have no recourse because he has no proper license. So there's that. Who are you going to be suing? A fake doctor? Who's a basketball coach? Lord have mercy. Only in the Cayman Islands, in the Caymans, do y'all allow this stupidity to go on? You think you could go to Cuba and not go through their proper protocols there and just be treating people and carrying on as a doctor? Andrew says Red Bull gives you wings, so they say. I don't know what the white powder does, I guess. But look at him. Speaking of the white powder, yeah. Like we had a guy in the Brat a couple years ago who overdosed over there, drugs. And when we posted that story, his friends, you shouldn't have said that. Why? Because it's not true? No, it is true. We're going to talk about the significance of the truth here in a second. 9:30 soon come. But yeah, here he is. His name is, hold on. Let me get you the name, honey Chaz. 66-year-old, first of all, retiree. Ishmael Isaac Perez Maceo. Them Spanish people in their 5 names. Charged with impersonating a doctor, a licensed of medicine, attempting to illegally purchase controlled drugs and buying or otherwise dealing in controlled drugs. This dude was out in the streets really thinking that he's a doctor. You can't write prescriptions. You can't buy controlled drugs. You can't do any of that unless you have the requisite legal documentation. So he tried, not for lack of trying, poor thing. He tried to be a doctor in Cayman and just couldn't pass. My goodness. What a hot mess. Who's he married to? Ooh, honey child. Somebody says, Cuban doctors always bum around looking expletive, proper bum. You fill in the blank for female parts. I'm just saying. I'm not even going to tell y'all what that person said, what the word is. It's not 9:30. So you fill it in. Hot mess. No, sir. Wow. Okay. I feel sorry for the wife now, because if that's true, you didn't even marry a doctor, and he's still out here fronting and trying to get women. No, you can't put up with that kind of behavior under no circumstances. OMG. Wagwan. Good morning, K-Man. So there's him. We not done yet. We'll be keeping an eye on this one because this is very, very interesting. Somebody says he's not the only one out here fronting and pretending to be a doctor. They said, you got to look at some other cases as well. And I'm just like, my God, what? Someone says he looks like a Black Cuban or Haitian. Yes, Cubans got Black people, they're very diverse. Stop with the torture of talking breadfruit, mangoes, and coconuts. Oh my God. Speaking of mangas, y'all got to see my tree. The last of the batch coming off now. And wow, that little tree did so well this year. I'm so proud of my little manga tree. So, yep. What a hot mess. Good morning, lovely people. Now, the next one that we're going to get to is low-key the wildest of the stories I'm telling y'all today. This person says, the show is giving me jokes. I'm late for work. Don't be late for work because you need your job. Lord God. So, oh, honey child, this one came through. Y'all are so, I love when the expats get in the comment section themselves and be talking about each other. They're like, speaking of expats, y'all are amazing. Lord have mercy. All right. Hold on. Let me get some of the WhatsApp comments in here because these are low-key funny. The next guy is the Indian guy. So like I said, we're going all over the globe today. Today's show is like, touching on everything. Let's get to some of these comments. This one had the following to say. Yes, random drug testing with accountability. Lawyers and top accountants and coke 24/7. Lord Jesus. How they do it, only God knows. Government and police are aware and are participating, either paid off with money or coke, corruption at its finest. The legal and accountability firms exist because of functional drug addicts. OMG. That's so crazy. All right. Okay, let me see here now. 936-2626. Let's talk about the Indian guy. Now, this story is one of those that really has me all sorts of confused. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this guy actually reached out to me. And we're going to be talking about extra crazy here in just a second. And I tell you what, as I get older, I am becoming wiser. And I can now smell dysfunctionality from a long ways off. Yeah? And that's when this guy started sending me all these videos, he was in some kind of altercation and this and that. And I was like, something here, this is extra, this is crazy. There's crazy. And then there's like next level crazy. You know what I mean? Let me take a quick little commercial break. Big shout out to the ESO folks. Please don't forget last 2 days now to participate and their surveys. There is a labor force survey and the business one. Very, very important that you participate in these. So let's take a quick break and I'm going to get my tea going, request my FAFO breakfast, put in my breakfast order. This morning, I feel like I should be eating turned mangoes for breakfast with a little salt and vinegar because we're about to turn up a little bit this morning, but here you go.
Have you completed and returned your business survey forms? The deadline for the annual business surveys is June 12th, 2026. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the Economics and Statistics Office. For assistance in completing the forms or for more information, call 244-4676, 244-4600 or visit eso.ky. Remember, better data, better decisions, better business.
The Spring Labour Force and Quality of Life surveys conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office begin Sunday, April 26th. The Labour Force Survey collects information on employment and unemployment in the Cayman Islands, while the Quality of Life Survey gathers feedback on well-being, financial security, community belonging, and overall life satisfaction. Trained interviewers with official ESOID cards will visit randomly selected households. All interviews are confidential under the Statistics Act, and no individual information will be published. For details, call the ESO hotline at 5163329.
All right, honey child. My God. Hold on a second here. Let me see. This one says, talking about expats, the principal of Prep Primary, Sasha Strand, needs to be deported. She is a bully. 7 Caymanians leaving Cayman Prep High School this term, driven out by her, but she's spinning lies. So many unqualified and not certified in the beauty industry too. Can't wait for the day that they really look at credentials. What a heat. Boy, this Sasha Strand lady, Cayman Prep has got to do something about it, and they really seem hell-bent on allowing her to stay. By the way, just a quick note about Cayman Prep. They've been having people leave, that so much so that they've actually adjusted their policy where you have to now give them a certain amount of notice, or you're going to be losing money and stuff that you've paid. People are getting sick of them, They're really the parents are looking at some other options, and I really must say, they probably can't be blamed. It's not that they're not a good academic school, but all this other mess is really getting in the way. All righty, let me see here now. Oh yes, we have this comment. Oh, this is concerning. Give me 1 second here about the good doctor, who's not actually a doctor. Lord God. I feel like I could eat a brownie with some nice milk right about now. I wouldn't want him to look at my front. Who are you talking about? The doctor? Fear No Evil says he hit the Coke so much his nose flat like the can. Oh, now I get the can comment. I'm sorry. I'm clueless about these things. Yeah, he needs to move to Hialeah, Miami. He'll fit right in. The doctor? Who y'all talking about? Y'all have me so confused. Anthony says, and think of it, Caymanians going to Cuba for medicals, kiss my teeth. They continue to use unregulated medicines and internationally unrecognized medical personnel. What's up with these Cubans? I mean, here's the thing, Anthony. Let's not discredit the Cuban medical community as a whole. They have had a reputation for being very good, but you got to go through the process. You don't just show up and say, I'm a Cuban doctor, therefore just accept me. No. So all these years that he's been here, he's out here, playing basketball and coaching basketball, but he's not been able to get called to the profession here in this country. All right. Miss Stacy cooking something. I can smell it. Ooh, the after show is going to be so good. Join us, radio folks, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We'll continue the after show because I need to go get some notes from yesterday. Oh my God. Yesterday was like, I felt like I was in crack yesterday in court. It was like, I'm in an alternative world. Okay. So hold on 1 second. Got another comment that just came in. 1 second. Let me read this one. All right. This is about the good doctor here. And this person had the following to say about him. That man that was training with Chrisley Thompson Hospital since 2004. God, you should have been a doctor. You could have started from scratch since 2004 and actually been called to the medical profession. Anyway, I had to have emergency surgery in 2004. He did one of my dressings of the site and he was many leave. Well, he was many leave without dressing. It with stitches, and the nurse asked me to show her, and she said, "Go back in that room because Dr. T would have my head." I said to him, "Come, Stacy, after you need to know what you're doing," and he got mad with me. From that day, I would not let him near me again. So what kind of doctor doesn't know how to do a dressing? What the hell? Oh, we had some breadfruit after all. Thank you, Stacy. The after show is going to be so good with the breadfruit. And it is. We're into the after show right now. All right, before we get to yesterday's situation, this is low-key crazy because I do have to grab some notes out of my briefcase. So actually, I think I can pull those up on the screen. All right, Tartarian says work permit holders need something to keep them in line. At present, they have too much freedom and cross the line. Anthony Morning says that's because they keep in their Spanish circle of friends and use their Spanish businesses as well. No integration. Well, he's married to Cayman. Excuse me. He's married to Cayman, for God's sake. I mean, certainly she speaks to him in English, doesn't she? No, sir? Then you can't be a doctor. It's as simple as that. You can come here. You shouldn't be here and not be able to speak much of the language, but anyway, I'm supposing he's learning. But not enough to be a doctor. And so you can't go out here practicing on people and pretending to be a doctor. No, sir. That can't work. Mr. Amelia says, yep, it was alleged that a certain MP wanted the police to check clubs along the West Bay Road instead of his is that constituency? Well, he might know something. West Bay Road probably running more coke than anybody else. Oh, okay. The strong will says we're talking about the doctor. What a mess. He's a drunk, Sandy. The doctor is who I'm talking about. He's a drunk? What? Lord Jesus, I can't even. I'm about to throw in the towel and me not even get started good yet. I need a bite of my breadfruit. Now, some of y'all don't like to hear me chewing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a commercial so that I can have a few bites of my crispy, extra crispy breadfruit while it's still nice and hot. And then we'll be right back to kick off because we got to talk about the Indian guy who's batshit crazy. And then we'll go from crazy to crazier with Carrie Whitaker. Fair enough? All right.
If you're a parent right now, you already know the cost of living has gone up. Rent, childcare, groceries. When the cost of living rises, government must rise to meet it. And we have. Under the revised ECAP policy, our Early Childhood Assistance Program, we've increased funding to keep pace with what families are actually paying today for their children's early education. Who benefits? A father working every hour he can. A single mother doing it alone. A grandparent raising grandchildren they love. Maybe that's you. Up to 235 Caymanian children will benefit directly. And I want every single one of them to have the start they deserve. That is why we're here. If you've applied before and been disappointed, I encourage you to try again. If you've never applied because you assumed you wouldn't qualify, now is the time to find out. And if the funding didn't feel like enough before, it should now. Is your child 3 years old and Caymanian? You may qualify. Visit us at moeapplications.gov.ky and apply for the 2026-2027 academic year.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
Ocean Ridge Heights offers an amazing opportunity to own a piece of land in idyllic Cayman Brac, right on the bluff, starting from $80,000. Located in a quiet residential area with high elevation, these lots are ideal for a future home or investment property and are sure to go fast. Cayman Brac offers a laid-back lifestyle, amazing pristine diving, limestone caves, diverse flora, along with amazing wildlife. Inquire about the owner financing options so that you can secure your piece of paradise today. With only a few lots remaining, these are sure to go before you know it. Contact Crichton Properties today on 345-949-5250 or info@crichtonproperties.com.
All right, folks, my apologies. It was so good I had to take a few bites. I said, let me finish chewing. Because I know who's going to be messaging me. Why are you chewing in my ear hole? Okay. I'm still trying to work my head around what is going on with this Indian guy. So apparently there's an Indian guy here who is, he used to own a jewelry store. Or he owns a jewelry store. I don't know. But he's having some serious mental health issues. And so he's our feature. I'm sorry, I need one more bite. Excuse me. Zeus is here looking at me now. Like, what are you eating? I had to share some with him. My apologies. Oh, I have some coconut water in the fridge. I need to be drinking some coconut water. Okay. All right. So this Indian guy is having some sort of mental health break. And this is quite serious, actually, because what I understand is he had a business. He has PR. Yes, honey child. Another one that we already gave PR to. And so now he's harassing a whole slew of people that he does not even know. The governor, the commissioner, all these people have been emailed by him or have received emails from him. And he just going on and on and on like a mad person. So the backdrop in history is apparently he used to work for Island Company's jewelry store. And then eventually he opened his own. For whatever reason, his business was not successful, stress of business, whatever. The wife is wanting to divorce him. I think she might have already moved out, child. He's suffering from some kind of, depression, dual personality, one person said. He was actually in India in a mental hospital for depression and dual personality. And so now he's harassing different members of, government, the community. Somebody messaged me yesterday and she's like, Sandy, I don't even know this man. And yet he's tagging me and stuff. He's next level. Like, what on earth is going on here? So here's what I want to say about this. At the end of the day, he clearly needs some medical help. And I know this, again, it might sound a little bit harsh, but can y'all hear Zeus chewing? Don't complain about Zeus, because I hear him crunching that breadfruit jam. Anyway, we can only take on so much as such a small island nation. And so you got PR, you don't yet have status. Let's not get this man to status. I'm sorry that you're having stress in life. But there's probably better help for you in India. They have some of the best doctors in the world, honey child. They understand you culturally. They can help you get through this. Cayman, not so much so. We need productive people here, especially when they're not Caymanians. You feel me? And I'm not trying to be mean about this, really. So good. Zeus is like, can I get more? He's licking his lips. He's so funny. No more, Zeus. That's enough. I need some coconut water. Anthony says, I can bet the Indian's going to call in. Not if he has any sense, he wouldn't. As a matter of fact, let me see when he had messaged me. Because I told you the guy messaged me, right? And I was like, thinking to myself, I am not going to get into this. He was sending videos of how somebody beat him up, and he was somehow connected to, it was just messy. And I'm like, what is it? I'm like, now we got the Indians here fighting and carrying on? What the hell? Oh my God. What next? You know, y'all not focusing, man. Y'all just come in here and going on with the most ridiculousness. Keep that drama back in Mumbai. Okay? Don't bring it here. We don't want your drama. We don't want you fighting and carrying on. Y'all gotta do better. I'm trying to find his messages that he sent me, but I'm not impressed. I am not impressed. No, sir. Anyway, he's on Instagram, I think it is, posting all kind of nonsense. Luxury jewelers, by Shand. I guess Shandan or something is his name. And it's just not a good look, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Except you need to get your life together. And what I'm low key and high key suggesting to you that you do that elsewhere, not in the Cayman Islands. So people have been messaging me from last week, but like I said, this guy actually, I'm trying to find his messages. He reached out to me because there's some kind of physical altercation, some sort of fight that he was involved in. I'm assuming, Zeus, no more breadfruit for you. Get down, sir. I'm assuming it had something to do. This person says, hey, this guy really needs help. Check him out. W2F is wrong with him. So this is the message I received one day last week. And evidently, he's got, some serious issues. So look at this. And he's posting all kind of stuff. Right? So this person says he's also been harassing persons and pretending to know them. He has PR also shaken my expletive head. Forwarded from Shandan Tharani. Dude. Don't have me to call Buddha on you. Or the Hindi gods are not going to be happy with you. Let me get a picture. You see, we don't have the capacity to take on all this foolishness in our community. All right, Zeus, one more piece. Stop begging for food, sir. Okay. So, yeah, it's not a good look. And like I said, I understand that this is probably mental health related. And so I'm not trying to make light of this situation at all. What I'm telling him is if he's already been hospitalized at a facility like what you have in India, with a lot of resources, a lot of expertise, then it's fair to say that Cayman, who does not even have a proper mental health facility, really is not the place for you. Right? So you got to go back home. You have got to go back home. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not trying to be mean, but we can't handle you. It's too messy. You're already involved in altercation, involved in fighting and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that not gonna work. And he's involving people into his nonsense. That, oh yes, he messaged me from April and sending me one pile of stuff from April the 8th. Hello, Miss Sandra. I'm reaching out to you with a very heavy heart. And I was like, oh God, I can't. You know what I'm saying? He was asking me to help him with discretion, and that's why I just left it alone. But there's just too much stuff going on. Sharing of letters, where this one is telling him off. I write to you today with a heavy heart, deep, and then they have the name written in whatever language that is, and a sense of urgency that no family should ever have to feel. And it's just, you know, it's messy. His own sister. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you? His sister says he's been battling with bipolar disorder. This is horrible. Tell me.
You know, I think my heart is good as Mr. Next Man.
Mm-hmm.
But frankly speaking, this little rock in the ocean, in my opinion, it seems to be the rehabilitation center for the world. Let me explain to you a little. All you can hear is about mankind and everybody coming here from all walks of life and taking advantage of a situation when some of our own people, which is needy and not excusing anyone, they are left out. And these people coming in making all kind of excuses. What kind of a policy, what kind of standard we have for this island, you know? And they get so much benefits from the NAU in all sorts and Sinico and everything. And I mean, it is absolutely nothing less than disgusting. So,
yeah.
But when I come back, someone said they want to come back as a dog. My friend, that guy or whoever it is, I'm not taking any sides or anything, but the Bible says if you have any knowledge or study anything, it says it's appointed once a man to die, and after that judgment. Okay? So I don't know, but it's becoming a thing that, you know, you see people on the street and if, you know, they got this sad story and they want, oh my God, it's out of control. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not a real good situation for our little rock in the sea, put it that way, you know.
I agree. It's a mess. It's really quite sad, actually.
And it's not getting any better. I mean, you can just bring in people here because of the fees they pay or something. Then what happens when they fall down? Government, I mean, you can't see them die. They have to go in the hospital or something. So that's another thing that needs to be looked at, you know, that people come here, even if they're in work permits, they should have a proper insurance. Not so they got some kind of insurance and then it ran out and then what happens? You know, if you can afford a proper insurance for your employee, then you don't need them. Sandy, it's good to hear you. And
thank you, darling.
Good, and have a good day.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy the rain. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right. So 936-2626 is the telephone number. I have the Indian guy calling me. Let's give him a call. Let's see what his story is. And then we'll get to Karen, what happened in court yesterday. Because that's another bipolar hot mess. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alfred says, when I die in return, I want to come.
Reached the voicemail box off.
Oh, and then, sir, it was a joke. It was a comment of how well Zeus is taken care of. But who took you seriously? Lord have mercy. Oh, he's sending a bunch of voice notes. Oh, he sounds manic. So this guy is having a lot of issues. I think, honestly, his posting is out of hand. People have sent me his Instagram posts and his tagging of people, and this cannot continue. Shandan, or whatever your name is, I'm going to make a really, really strong suggestion to you. You need to collect yourself and stop posting foolishness on social media and probably leave the Cayman Islands. It's just too much. I'm not even watching and reading the messages or whatever, but I have so many people messaging me about this, and they're saying you're having some kind of mental health break, right? And just having a look, let me show you what the page looks like. This is when you know someone is manic. They're having a manic episode and they need professional help. And maybe he doesn't know that, Cayman doesn't have the resources here to help him in the way that, maybe we would hope, but honestly, we ain't got the resources. So your best bet is to extricate yourself from the Cayman Islands, go back home, and try to get the help that you can. So I had a young Caymanian lady reach out to me yesterday. Says he's like constantly tagging me and he's doing that. I'm like, no, Bobo, I don't know what this is all about, but you got to cut it out. Okay. It looks crazy. All right. I don't understand. Who's this in the picture with him? No, you're having some kind of episode. His own sister has said in a letter that he's bipolar. And listen, if you've ever dealt with someone, and I don't claim to be any kind of expert in relation to this, but if you've ever dealt with someone who's bipolar, my understanding is it's one of those mental health diseases that someone described it to me earlier this week. They said it's like a slow burn. Yeah. Because it takes a toll on everyone around them. Let's listen to he's voice messaging me. I tried calling, but he was calling my private number. Let's see what he's saying today. I told him that it's not a good look. Let's see.
What are you talking about, Miss Sandra? I'm doing good work.
Okay.
Don't you see everything?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing helping people up, giving ride and all that. Has anybody done that? Have you done something like that?
Mm.
What are they talking about? Nonsense. Tell them to come and speak to me directly. And my boys. When was the last time you gave a ride to someone or did some community service? People talk shit about you all the time. The amount of cases you have on you. You know that? You can be going to jail anytime. It's very simple. My boys told me for you to post it. They're already angry on you. But I still made a nice comment.
What's he talking about?
My team already went through your account, Guess what? 90% is all fake followers you have. Shall I do a shout out for you? You already have a bad reputation on Ireland. You know that? Miss Sandra?
Oh my God.
Ask my friend what you did to her on David's birthday party. You putting camera on her face. She hated that.
What?
Don't make me put a post on you. I'm going to do that. I'm running very powerfully. All these people are telling me not. Don't make me remove all your fake followers. Do what I say. That's what my Cameron boys told me to do. To be nice to you. Otherwise, you have a very bad reputation and a case going on. Second thing they told me to tell you, don't put cameras on people's face. They don't like it. Ask permission.
We might as well go all in this morning. Answer the phone, my brother. I'm powered up with breadfruit and eggs.
You have reached the voicemail box of.
He didn't want to answer the phone.
532.
He does not want to answer the phone. You can hear the madness, right? He really sounds mad. Yeah, boy. No, sir. Like I said, I couldn't help him when he called. I was just like, dude, what? When he was messaging me. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you doing, my dear?
Not bad, girl. What the hell? What the hell are we importing into Cayman?
Now, let me tell you something. Here's what I'm going to say.
Peace. No, sir.
That poor woman that is married to him, I'm going to be feeling sorry for her right now.
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
We know that a lot of those weddings, particularly, and nothing biased against their country, a lot of them are arranged weddings.
Yeah.
So, bless her soul, Cayman is her freedom point.
Yeah.
So, needing to get out and file for divorce, this is it for her. But Dana was saying him over the edge. He has always been over the edge.
Oh,
He's
shit.
just using this now as an excuse. I'm going to be frank. I don't have no time to be cute and pretty with these people. And guess what? If you were here in a man's country and you clean say that you went home and you found out from your people, and I know that India got some phenomenal doctors, because trust me, we have a lot of great ones here in Cayman that's at Health City that has saved many of our Caymanian lives and have taken care of our family members and friends. But if you go home and your doctors tell you that, hey, listen, Cayman doctors were killing you. No, and I say that we got perfect doctors ourselves. We know that we got a little problem, especially in our health or mental health facility there at the hospital. But guess what? If your doctors tell you that our doctors here in Cayman were killing you and your doctors in India saved your lives, why the hell you come back to Cayman for? Stay there and get your help over there. I don't care what kind of PR and whatever else you're getting here in Cayman. Do not bother, and I don't have no time for foolishness anymore. I love visitors. I love welcoming people from around the world to come to Cayman, but don't come here and enjoy what I'm offering to you. Enjoy the freedom and living the life and making your dream come true in life. And then you can turn around and bash me, my country, my people. No. Take your backside and get off my country and go back where you come from. Bottom line, have a great day. Okay?
Thank you, my dear. It's a sad situation because, it seems like there was a time when he was obviously in a much better place mentally, but that has long gone. He's been assaulted, he says, at the hands of, I don't know, his sister or somebody. And it's just crazy. It is just next level crazy. So I don't know why he's getting all upset with me. He should just go home. I mean, he's messaged saying that he's having mental issues. He's depressed. He's feeling suicidal. He's this, he's that. All we're saying is get the help that you need. And that help that you need is back in India. It's not Cayman. Cayman doesn't have the resources to help you. Like, I'm being totally serious here. We don't even have a proper, mental health facility. Let me see.
Excuse me, madam. This is my home. Okay? Don't make me put you to jail. Go do some good karma. Fake news, fake followers you have. My team already went through your account. Your news channel, shame on you. Having fake followers. You know what? You really want to play this game now? Let me take you to court.
Take me to court for what? Let's give him a call. Let's call him on this because he doesn't want to answer the other phone. So oh, he doesn't want to answer. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you can hear the madness. Like I said, he keeps tagging people that they don't know him. They have nothing to do with him. He has really been, on some kind of an episode. In a serious note, what I would say is he and his situation needs to be, he needs help, right? And I think that in order for him to get the help that he needs, he should go elsewhere to seek that help. This is just my honest opinion. Like I said, Cayman does not have adequate resources to help him. And it's really, really unfortunate that he doesn't see it. Anytime Cayman is his home. What I would suggest is, because he is not able to see it for himself, perhaps what we need to do is to help him out. He has PR. Where is the PR board? You see, we can't have laws in place where the PR board allows people, unfortunately, like Shandan, to sit here and having this whole episode harassing all sorts of people. I mean, yesterday one came out and young lady's like, I don't even know this guy. And I've asked him to stop, messaging me and stop tagging me on social media, and he continues to do so. Block him would be the best advice that I could give you. I don't know what he's going on and on about my account for, talking about fake followers. Listen, we don't do anything to get followers, right? We don't pay for followers. I don't even know how that's even done. If we've got fake followers, which I think probably all major accounts have a certain percentage that are fake followers, that has nothing to do with us. I've certainly never gone out there and solicited any entity that can get you fake followers or any of that stuff. I don't even know how any of that works. Of course, I see them commenting, especially on Facebook, right? And we block them once we realize that they're fake. You can ask any of the CMR team members. I'm like, once they start commenting, because we not got time to go through 100-something thousand people, but once they start commenting and we realize that that's a fake account, just block them. Because why are they there? So I don't even know what he thinks that's supposed to do to me. Why are you bringing that up? That ain't got nothing to do with me. Oh, now he's going to post up something about me. Go ahead. Take me to court. Go ahead. What for? Because I'm saying that you have, in your own words, admitted that you're having mental health issues. And all I'm saying is you should not be here. You need to go back home. You've already been hospitalized in India. The best place for you to be is in your country, surrounded by your loved ones, surrounded by your friends, if you have any left, because it seems like he is burning a lot of bridges, right? He's cursing out Silver Thatch about how they're giving him such a hard time. Shame on you putting me through this situation. This is what he said. After a phone conversation, he writes this to Miss Ramos at Silver Thatch. My stress and situation have gone to another level. I'm completely broke and struggling. And instead of support, I've been left feeling worse. But that's not what your pension money is for. So go home where you have help. I'm already dealing with severe mental and financial pressure, and the way this has been handled is unacceptable. I have informed my family about everything that is happening, including how I have been treated by Silver Thatch and your team. I'm getting high suicidal thoughts now, like twice I did and was in the hospital. So now it will be my third attempt, and I may be alive this time, so thank you. If this situation is not addressed immediately, I will take serious legal action against your firm for the way my case has been handled. I'm attaching my reports one more time for you. I don't want to do something stupid to myself, is what he said. This is a man who is desperate for help. He sent a letter from his sister, from a doctor here in, let me see where this physician is, in India, of course, some rehabilitation center, saying that he's been under treatment for a number of years. And he continues to need psychiatric management. What I'm saying to you, sir, is Cayman is not equipped for this. Okay? I'm sorry. This is not the place for you. You have friends at home that can assist you. What did he say? I am letting you go now. Bye. Don't call me. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Don't try to insult me again. I'm from Cayman, okay, you stupido?
He's from Cayman. So he used AI to create a little flyer just now that he says he's going to post up.
You don't look like you're from Cayman. You were born and raised there or what? You don't behave like one. Big Cayman gang, stupido.
I am not from Cayman. Okay, sir. Yeah, I don't look like I'm from Cayman, but you do. Oh, okay. Who looks more Caymanian? Auntie? Or straight from Mumbai? Seriously? But you can't, listen, you can't take on people who are having mental health issues. Let's see what else.
Putting cameras on my people's faces without their permission.
What's he talking about?
On you. Do you know that? Me and my boys are trying to protect you, stupido. Do you know the government wants to get rid of you? I know everything, every shit about you, Miss Sandra. The amount of cases you know. I have the whole list of your cases. You'll be going to jail soon. Stupid woman telling me to go home. What the fuck? You don't see the amount of work I'm doing, you stupid or what? You should be protecting me, crazy woman. You know what? I'm going to talk to my boys and see if I can put you in jail for saying that shit to me. That's discrimination.
Wow. I don't know who Komal is, but he says to him, I can't believe the level of cruelty and selfishness you've shown. You left me completely alone in deep depression, paralyzed and bankrupt and without any support. I still remember the worst moment. You gave me a knife and told me to end my life. Wow. Who's that in his life? Do you even have a heart? You've moved on, blocked me and denied me contact. Oh, this must be the wife. Denied me contact with. And then he names the child, I guess. Was money everything to you? Not love? I gave you my heart, worked endlessly for a family, sacrificed everything, and yet you treated me like nothing. You disrespected my mother from day one. I'm not sure why you would have married her then. Pushed my brother away with false accusations and sided with people who spread lies about me. Shame on you. This is his side now. I made everything possible for you. We traveled. I took care of everything. And you just contributed basic support and sent everything to your family. Meanwhile, I was fighting jealous competitors. No, not the jealous competitors. Who spread false rumors about my business. Yet you were their friend. Karma is real. Didn't he just mention karma again? Poor him. Think about the destruction you caused in my life. 3 years of depression, rehab, losing faith in God, losing family. Why did you do this? I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm demanding basic humanity. We have a child together and you're preventing me from seeing him. Sounds like she's got reasons to. I want you to unblock me and tell me where you are so I can speak to the child. Do not make this worse for yourself. Cayman laws are strict and Indian authorities are aware of this situation. This isn't a threat, it's reality. You have ruined lives, but there is still a chance to do the right thing. I am asking for the sake of our child and whatever decency you have left to resolve this peacefully. Do not make me regret having ever trusted you. Oh my goodness, sorry. So this is the type of correspondence he's sending. And then he's posting all kind of religious videos and stuff. I don't know. He sent me photos of him and the baby. Such a cute little boy, but boy, you look like you. Lord have mercy. So he sent me pictures. He sent the email which you have sent to a number of civil servants pertain to certain situations and matters of concern. This is to confirm that I have asked a CBC assistant director to coordinate with the investigation section that contact can be established with you. You have raised matters relating to import fraud. I don't know what the dude's going on with. It's a lot. And this is why I wouldn't touch it initially, because, I was just like, no, this is beyond me. So he's provided references from Little Cayman, Brenda Miller. Who the hell is Brenda Miller? She wrote a reference for him, whoever she is. Poor Caymanian fools. Tell me she's HR manager for Island Companies. Poor thing. That was when I guess he was okay, but that doesn't speak to what's happening with you right now. So he's got Island Companies references. I didn't really go through any of this because I saw a snippet of what he was sending me, and I'm like, no, we're not doing this. This is too much. And he keeps sending this video over and over again. And yeah, you're having issues. And listen, sometimes people go through stuff, but you can't blame anybody else. And what you need to do is just get your life together. Right? This isn't. Let's see. He keeps sending messages for someone who doesn't want to talk. Wait. Read that. Hold on. Uh-oh.
Trying to help in a which fucking way, you stupid woman? You need some mental health going on in your body. You fight with your own family members, slap them, and take them to court. Shame on you. Now you get fuck out of my WhatsApp. Otherwise, I'll destroy you more. Okay? Goodbye.
He keeps messaging me like, what?
I'll talk to my boys and think about you, if I should put a case on you or no. And this one will take you to jail. You know what? The court and the commissioner and everybody's with me. Those are my boys, crazy woman.
Who is his boys? Kurt Walton? Is that what he just said? Let me listen to that one again.
You know what? The court and the commissioner and everybody's with me. Those are my boys, crazy woman.
Oh, okay. Then he sends a letter, screenshot, subject, with love for Cayman, request for help and protection of my work. Hello, Mr. Kurt. Hope you and your family are doing well. However, I'm writing to you with a very heavy heart. My account has been accessed by scammers. Oh, another one. Who are trying to interfere with my work and take away something I have built day and night. This work means a lot to me because it is focused on something I truly care about, supporting and educating people in the Cayman Islands, especially around mental health and wellness. Huh? What?
Look carefully, crazy woman who I may send an email to. Stupido. I speak to them almost every day.
So because he sends an email to Kurt Walton, he thinks that's one of his boys. Okay.
I speak to them almost every day. Stupid woman. I have a good reputation, not like you. Not even one fucking case. 21 years here. That's why they choose me to be the Jesus here. You think I have enough time for all this nonsense? I have my own fucking business. Not 5 businesses. What the fuck you have? That stupid channel? That everybody laughing about?
Wow. Then he sends the link for his luxuryjewels.ky website. Let's continue.
Take a look at my jewelry. It's the best one.
Oh
the
my God.
Price, madam. The lowest price. Not even your stupid David can give you that price. David E. Banks. Ask him about me. He's my good friend. You know David E. Banks, right? Ask him.
If I know David E. Banks. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Mom. Good morning.
Morning.
Can I call you back when you're not on the air?
Sure.
Not possible.
Mm-hmm.
What time is that?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in overtime, but not sure yet. All
okay,
right.
Get on the air. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. So he says he's Jesus. He knows David. Ask David.
You know, you were in the list for a long time. Seriously. Just ask you a little favor. And you became like a rude person. Nonsense. Something like this you need to be doing. Okay, man, look what I did.
Okay, he sent a video. Let's see what he did. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can download this. Wow, this is crazy. He's talking about Aaron Bernardo and Tara Bernardo, his sister. What about him? They're his friends? Well, if they're his friends, please put together, because y'all supposed to have money. Please put it together and send him a one-way ticket back to India. This is sad. I mean, yes, obviously the man having some serious issues, but like I said, this is not where you need to be. You need to be surrounded by healthcare providers that can help you. And, you know, I'm going to tell him, I hope you get the help you need. You so desperately need. Anyway, like I said, the complaints have really gone up about this guy. And someone's asking if there's not a way to section 13 or 11 him, where basically he's forced into a mental health facility. I go back to the point that Cayman does not have adequate places for this man. And that is the primary reason why I'm saying that he should not remain in the Cayman Islands. Like, I get it that he has PR. I hope y'all not stupid enough to give this man status now. Come on, Cayman. We got to do better than this. Been here for 21 years. He has obviously demonstrated, and it's actually inner legislation, it's inner laws where you tell him, like, you know, do you have a communicable disease? Have you ever had a mental health issue? He has for years, is what I'm understanding. And so, you know, we gotta get him out of here.
Grand Cayman, look what God has created for us.
Wow.
Come here, shake your legs, move your hand, get that depression out. God is laughing at us, saying, you stupido, I've given you this. Other part of the world doesn't have this. You have this. So your depression will be down long time. You are one of those luckiest people in my list. I send you here. What else you want? Treat your parents well, you stupidos. You're sending them to rehab and all that. I met many of the parents. You know, not even a single word they said about you because they love you, their child. You send your parents to rehab. Remember when you were a little small like this? They took care of you. It's your turn now. They are your child, stupido. In India, we don't let our parents go, you know. I can't afford to have my mom here. She used to live here with me before, but she'll be here very soon. And guess what? I'm gonna hold her hand like this, 24 hours. Stupidos, they are your parents. Because of them, you're here in this world. And God has sent you to Grand Cayman, GCM. You're lucky. Go to Haiti. Go to Santo Domingo. If you were born there, your life will have been blah, blah, blah. India. Take care, guys.
Wow. Okay, let's listen to what else he's saying this morning.
Sandra, you are crossing the limit now. I have a letter from a doctor that I'm well. Okay? And I'm double espresso to protect my Cayman Island. And you are not. Because you don't feel like you're from here. All you're covering is stupid or nonsense newses. Seriously, Miss Sandra, people are laughing at you. Shut your what do you call that? Cayman Mall Road, shut it down. They don't even watch it anymore. I really hope I don't see you on the road, you know. Believe me. I'm planning jail time for you anyhow.
Wow, that sounds like a threat to me. He hope he don't see me on the road. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, this is my last call before I sign off for the day, because, you know, just when I was in a very positive mood this morning, I tuned into your show at the very wrong time to be listening to a very ignorant individual. And at this point, you know, he's toxic. But what I want to say to you, that sounds like a threat. So keep that in mind. Yeah, please do. I just sent you something on WhatsApp, something that I think that we could do in our community for a worthy cause and be a little bit more focused on things that are relevant to us as Caymanians, because he certainly isn't. So I am off your show now, but I want you just to look at what I sent you via WhatsApp.
Well, don't leave yet, because we'll be discussing Carrie.
Oh, I'm gonna be driving and listening to that one. Keep it down low before. In fact, I'm gonna keep 3-car distances. No, not 3, 10 in front of me, just in case I got blocked suddenly. But I'm gonna brake suddenly. But yeah, I'll keep it on while I'm driving. But yeah, look at what I sent you WhatsApp. Let's see if we, as a community in Cayman, what we can do to help that little young man there over the summer with his operations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, love. Have a great day.
All right. So here we have a man who's causing havoc in the community, and he's talking and worried about what's happening on Mall Road and how many followers I have. I wouldn't think that would be your worry, sir. You need help. Yes, it does sound like a threat. And so, of course, we take threats around here very, very seriously. So this person says November 21st, 2009, 17 years, last 3 years in rehab, 15 years. Please send him back soon. So this sounds like someone who is familiar with him, knowing his history. So they're saying it's not 21 years because he was overseas in a mental health facility. And somehow we managed to allow this man to come back into the Cayman Islands. Wow. This is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, Jess, you heard the man. Where he is, so I can go visit him, says Marva. Oh, Jesus, don't get yourself in no trouble for this man. Who's holding the camera and helping to enable his behavior? I have no clue. Shall we call, what day is today? Wednesday? I can't remember if we have, if the government has cabinet today or not. But perhaps we need to get a hold of Mr. Nick DaCosta, who's head of CBC. And I know that immigration doesn't fall under him, but there's some other questions here. When someone is unhinged like this, what is the government of the Cayman Islands prepared to do? Right? This is a very, very valid question here. What exactly are they prepared to do? Shall we call the minister? Let me see what else he sent. Some other message as well. Let's see what else he got to say.
I'm not giving any threat.
That was a threat, sir.
Something very negative. Look at your comments. I only took a snapshot, which I'm going to show it to Mr. Kurt. And you know who? Mr. Anthony. And discuss with them what's going on with you.
Who is Mr. Anthony?
I don't know for discrimination.
He can put me in jail for discrimination. So the comment that he circled and that he's so offended by, let me show you guys what he's just sent me. I've already messaged that to Kurt Walton. Don't worry. We're on it this morning, him and Mr. Brad Ebanks. But apparently what he is offended by this morning, the most offensive thing that I've said about him, he circled it. And this is what he said. Hold on. Let me show you guys so you can see for your own two eyes that I'm not making this shit up. But this is what he had to say. He's offended by me asking the question, why not go home? That's what he's upset about right now, because I said, why not go home? Okay. Why not go home? How is that offending you? Dude.
Stop your nonsense. Stop calling me. Give me your email address. I'm going to copy you.
Email address, copy me and what? Oh, God. I can't even. Okay. Wow. Well, we're going to go from mad expats to Zeus. What happened? What happened, sir? Go to Miss Stacy. Mad expats now to, we're going to turn to mad Caymanians. But this dude is crazy. Oh my God. Okay. I think we wanted to call the minister. Hold on. Let me get the minister's number. Because they should be Minister DaCosta. They should be very well aware of this situation. Let me see here now. Give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
They might be in cabinet today. Let me see. All right, we're gonna try to get some answers here in relation to why this man is still here. Well, there has to be something that we can do. You have two options. You guys either need to take him into custody and put him in a mental health facility, which, like I said, Cayman doesn't really have one, or you send him back home where he can get more appropriate care. Right? Zeus, what's wrong? Even Zeus is agitated. He's like, I don't like this situation. Miss Stacy, I think Zeus, do you need to go outside? What's up? What's up, puppy? Hold on. Hi, Zeusy. I can't help you. What's going on? Hi, puppy. He's not happy. Zeus is not happy. Roar came out and says, batshit crazy. Well, that's one way. I don't know if Zeus has to go outside, but he's a little bit antsy in here. Come and open the door for Zeus. All right, Zeus. Go with Miss Stacy. Go on. Why are you looking at me like that? Yes, sir. All right, let's go from worst to worst, as Caymanians would say. Sandy, you need to press charges because he keeps reaching out and harassing you. Don't reply. Don't call. Make him continue to be the harasser. Yeah, I mean, we called it once, and obviously from this phone, we saw he hanging up and whatever, but something not clicking. You mean from joke to joker, says Vanessa. All right, let's move on to a court update yesterday. And he ran straight to his water. Oh, poor Zeus it must have been that plantain make him the breadfruit make him thirsty. Oh, poor thing. You see, these dogs are smart. You know, my tweet him. He was telling me he wanted some water. My sweet. All right. Court yesterday. I literally left with a headache. Not a word of lie. I came home. The Tylenol is still on my desk. Proof positive. I had to beg Miss Stacy to find me some Tylenol because I don't get headaches very often. But after yesterday's proceedings, Tylenol was my friend. I had a headache. How can I summarize it? It was crazy. First of all, last week, she was all over the place messaging the judge's secretary, saying how she can't get a lawyer because nobody in Cayman wants to go up against me. Not true. That she can't handle this case without legal representation. So she was asking for an extension of 2 weeks. And I objected. I'm like, nothing's going to change in 2 weeks. She claims that, she's trying to reach a legal aid lawyer. What shocks me about Carrie, for as intelligent as she tries to be, right? I am shocked at how little she actually bothers to learn, to educate herself about, and to actually be honest. Defamation is not eligible. It's in the law for legal aid. So I don't even know what she was talking about. Anyway, I objected. The judge said we're moving forward. We had the hearing yesterday. That yesterday morning, oh, he's back. He just wanted water. So yesterday morning, she showed up in court on Zoom link because she's in Cayman Brac. And she provided a document, which I'll show you here, which I guess is a response to, and let me be very, very clear. The hearing yesterday was very narrow. So it was looking at two issues. The current injunction that is in place, which is she's not to continue to defame me. And then another, what they consider more draconian injunction, which is basically that anything that she has put up about me defamatory, she needs to take it down. So for the initial ex parte hearing, the let me see here now. The judge basically didn't want to do that without actually getting some sort of feedback from her. You know, it's an ex parte hearing, but at the same time, they want to give her an opportunity to say, why are you saying all these absolutely defamatory things, which obviously I can't repeat, but some of you have heard and seen it. And so she talked about everything yesterday in court, how she's running a cat sanctuary and she's the only person in Cayman who's rescuing cats, to all the good that she's done in the community. She apparently is paying people's mortgages. She's helping with school fees. She has made herself out in her own head to be this martyr. And I got to be honest with you, I have never, it was an hour and 17 minutes of my life that I'm not going to get back. That's for sure. And so I sat there and I listened to her. And I was just like, wow, this is so crazy. She talked about the fact that I am jealous of her. And I was just thinking, as I'm sitting there in court taking my verbatim notes, what am I supposed to be jealous of? Someone who's about to lose her house, the husband has left her, no chick, no child, a bunch of mangy cats, that's all you got. No job, no money, no nothing. What am I jealous of? I mean, give me some credit. If I'm going to be jealous, and I don't believe in being jealous of people, if I'm going to be jealous of somebody, make it somebody who's living bigly, who's got like, you know, something more than I do. She doesn't. You're not jealous of people who have a worse life than you. I'm like, who's jealous of that? Jealous of what? Being crazy? Of being dysfunctional? I don't even know what the hell this woman was talking about. But, you know, you got to just sit there in court with a straight face because this shit was crazy. I don't know. So her overall defense yesterday, Ray says she's a martyr, but not smarter. So her overall, Alfred Real says you're jealous of the vibrators that she talks so much about. That must be it. I have never, Zeus gone again. I have never owned a vibrator in my life because I've always been able to have a man if I wanted one. Sorry, but not sorry. You don't need one when you got the real thing. I'm just saying. Anywho, so what she did yesterday is her defense, I think, which isn't actually a defense, is that she was attempting to roast me. That's what she said, right? So in her document, I'm going to read you part of it because this document is like an insight into someone who is having a manic episode and it's just like over the top crazy. And so she claims that we have had a long history. We were so close in her, this is her affidavit that I only saw yesterday morning in court. So you can imagine she had it signed 2 days ago, but didn't bother to send it through and give it to me, right? Let me pull this screen over a little bit. Hold on. Marlon, come move my monitors. Oh yeah, there we go. It's a big monitor, but I like to have it closer to me. So, all right. So this is what she said in her affidavit. And again, none of this really has anything to do with the issue at hand because it was a very narrow issue. So I did my legal submissions and it focused on why the injunction should be granted, which by the way, he did grant. So he found in my favor, but this was next level. This judge, I'm going to tell you some of what he said because he was sitting there going, so a couple highlights, right? From what she said during her oral part of the court yesterday. She kept going over and over how we are native Caymanians, okay? And this is how native Caymanians are. And, we're just two native Cayman. And I had to put that to bed. I'm like, listen, Your Honor, this is not how Caymanians behave. This is not how we go on. This has nothing to do that. What a sad indictment on us, right? That's her argument. Oh, we're native Caymanians, so this is what we do. No, we don't. Not all native Caymanians are batshit crazy. Sorry to bust your bubble, Carrie. So I'm like, no, this is not it. How her home is converted into a cat sanctuary where she has 28 cats. This is some of what she said. 25 of them were rescued and came back from the cat culling. She's even helping pregnant cats. She rescues them. She just was rambling. At one point, he had to interject and just not just one point, multiple times. He had to interject and stop her. He said, Miss Whitaker, stop. She was even bringing in the Chief Justice's name into her rants, and he told her, don't do it. If you know what's good for you, don't do it. So she said that she was roasting me, and this was funny. And the judge was like, what? This is her defense. That she was roasting me and all the things that she said is meant to be funny, and that I've been roasting her for years. And, she's just gone with the flow. She's never lodged a complaint, this and that, whatever. The judge was like, no. So this is some of what he said. I take very good notes. So let me say this. Because she claims that it was a belly laugh. So at one point, the judge says to her, how do you think this was funny? Okay, he said, Miss Whitaker, what is funny about saying that she needs to, and he puts in the quote, that's what she needs to stop doing. That's the quote, right? How is that funny? Well, it was funny for me and others. This is what she said. It was funny for me and others. He stopped her. Miss Whitaker, in what conceivable world is that funny? Well, the word, she used the D word, in and of itself, is even used in children's storybooks. Does that sound familiar? Remember when y'all were trying that here with Johan, like, oh, it's not a bad word, it's not a big deal. She says, Dora and Dick. I've never heard Dora and Dick. I guess that's a book. I grew up in a classroom for years. And then he said, the judge was like, what? Because she says for years it was used to, it's used in a book. Then he says, excuse me, show me where it's used in a children's book to refer to a penis. It's clearly not what you were intending to mean. And then she says, oh, I agree. It was not used as the anatomy of a human in any storybook. But it is terminology that was considered funny. And he did not find it funny at all. He went on to say, Ms. Tibbetts, name me one comedian who has said on stage that someone doing this in order to get ahead in life, that is somehow funny. Of course, she couldn't respond. So eventually she got to the stage where she said, oh, it didn't come across in a serious tone. It came across as very laughable. It was more of a comedic way, which is all lies. Any of you who actually saw the video know that that's a bold-faced lie, right? And he said again, explain to me how this is laughable and humorous, right? And he quoted something. She claimed that she didn't say that. And I'm like, not only do we have, he said, well, you had a week if you disagreed with that transcript to put forward your own version. You haven't done that now, have you? And she said, no. And he said, okay. Then she complains that it took a lot of work to deal with this without representation. So we have the transcripts of what she did say and the video in case you don't believe the transcripts. I made sure to point that out to the court. I'm like, please. I don't know who this woman is trying to lie to right now with her cockamamie story, but this is just absolutely ridiculous. So she kept then obsessing about how I keep bringing up her past, which, by the way, her herself was sat here talking about how she has been incarcerated, right? But because we won't allow her to get away with the lie, and the lie is her stealing from Real Gallagher was justified because she was stealing her own salary. And he was laundering money. She's come up with so much stuff to discredit that poor dead man because he cannot speak for himself. And we've said, no, that's not what the court records reflect. That's not what the archive media records on reporting at the time reflect. The judge said even then she was trying to blame somebody else in her office. And the judge was like, no, we're not allowing this. You're manipulative. You're a dangerous person. And so, sorry, Zeus. I thought you had left the studio. My apologies. I got to stand up now and stretch my knee. And so all this time, she's trying to rewrite history because we won't allow her to rewrite history. Then she's like, oh, well, she's harassing me. She's roasting me. I've never used the term, come lie back down over here, boo-boo. I've never used the term roast to describe anything that I do with her. I am telling the truth. The truth is not defamatory. That is the one, if someone says that you've defamed them and you're able to show, there are other defenses, but if you're able to show that what you said is actually the truth, that's an absolute defense in law. Any first-year law student would be able to tell you that. I have never made up anything on Carrie. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to move my mat over so I can stand on it. I have never made up anything on Carrie. And that's where she doesn't understand. Seems like she doesn't even understand what the hell defamation is. I'm sitting there going, what the hell is wrong with this woman? She doesn't understand why what she said was defamatory because it isn't true. So her best defense was, right? Oh, I was trying to roast her and it was meant to be funny. Really? You make up a very disgusting set of statements about a person and you put that in the public domain through your podcast and you think now you can come back after the fact, right? And try to find some cockamamie story as to why this isn't defamation. The judge told her that is not a defense to defamation. Native Caymanians. If I had $1 for every time she used the term Native Caymanians yesterday, I would have walked away with at least $25 to $50. What does that have to do with being a Native Caymanian? Native Caymanians do not go around defaming each other with absolute lies. So the court hearing was just, it was crazy, but he gave her every opportunity to try to explain herself. And he basically said, you know, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. This is not a roast. He's like, that's an American concept that has no bearing in English law whatsoever. I reminded him of her being shut down her previous page back in 2014 by the accounting firms through Maples and Calder. So in her affidavit, she produced 8 pages. That's what's here on the screen, right? She produced 8 pages of nonsense, just babbling. Okay? She claims that she first met me in 2003. Here's the funny thing about it. If you ask me how I first met Carrie, I could not even tell you. The fact that she even remembers it, this is low-key, stalkish behavior, obsession. I did not even remember. She says that we actually met when she rented a space in Centennial Towers back in 2003. What she said, for my growing businesses consisting of administrative, secretarial work, property management, and rentals. So that was Island Rentals. I did not even remember if they were in Centennial Towers. I have no memory of that. So she claims that she had made several purchases of products and services from my business because I was adamant about supporting local businesses. No, you weren't. Especially Native Caymanian businesses. What the fuck is it with her and this term Native Caymanian? So she said, during this time, we got further acquainted. We went to dinners, movies, and other community events. Oh, stick a pin. Stick a pin now. Because this woman sounded like she was trying to date me. Not for nothing. But I do not recall ever going, and again, I'm not going to necessarily rely on my memory, but I'm pretty sure I remember this. I do not recall ever going to the movies with her. And I don't know what other community events. Dinners, yes. Because I loved me a Bamboo back in the day. And I would say we probably went to Bamboo, quite a few times. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Sandra. How are you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
I could be better. My voice is still hoarse, but I said I had to call in and I have to say something here. You see that? You see that line where she put I found that the plaintiff was indeed a strong voice in the country, as I was.
Mm-hmm.
And although she had not been as long at advocating for the rights of Caymanians as I was,
she gravitated to me. Yes.
And would always seek advice from me. Read between the lines, Sandra.
That's
the
so.
Woman is
oh my
jealous
God.
of you. The woman is jealous of you. Okay? She's jealous of your success.
And the fact that she seems to know so much about my life. Like, how many people can legit remember when I moved back to Cayman? Probably nobody except her. It's just weird. Wow.
So, like, read everything that every time. And for somebody who.
Thomas, she had submerged herself into Cayman politics. So, in other words, I was her understudy, apparently.
Well, there you go. So read everything and look at everything
Oh
she
my
has done
God.
and said to you so far, Sandra, from a lens of jealousy. And then the thing is that with jealous people, because jealousy is one of those ugly emotions that nobody likes to admit to, right? They're going to project, no, you're the jealous one. Because I was the one who was in this first. And you're the one that gravitated toward me. I probably sound really, really bad, but I apologize. But I had to call and I had to point that out. The woman is jealous of you. Have a good day.
Thank you, my dear. Yeah, it is so weird. Like I read this, I'm thinking, what is she even talking about? Because I can tell you, this is not what it was at all. She claims that since I had only returned to Cayman back in 1996, that I was her understudy, apparently seeking advice from her because I was away for so long. What? By 2003, let's be realistic here. By 2003, folks, I was already part of the PPM, their founding thing. I was already involved in politics in the community. Long time. I don't even know what this woman is talking about. It is just, it's so shocking how someone can fabricate a complete narrative in their head that never happened. I can't tell you because, like I said, I don't remember. Now that she's saying that she was in Centennial Towers, I guess that's how I met her. I don't even know. But that is not an accurate depiction of what happened at all. I mean, I was already politically connected. Why would I need Carrie Whitaker? What? I needed to know about Cayman? No, I don't need to know about Cayman from you, child. Right? I was surrounded by my own people. Ask the people who, from 1996, I was working with at Maples, my own Caymanians, talking to them every single day, understanding their struggles. It didn't take me long. Yes, I was away in Tampa for 15 years, but it didn't take me long to reassimilate into my community because at my core, I'm a Caymanian. Strong Wilt says, Auntie, it sounds like she was in love with you. It does. And it's really weird. I'm sorry, but this made me so uncomfortable. So she says then that her YouTube broadcast on Friday the 22nd, which is the one in question, right? That she was on that page because apparently her Facebook page had been banned. And this is the thing. She is blaming me for having her Facebook page banned when it had nothing to do with me. I swear to God. And I don't like to swear. If I had my Bible here right now, I'd put my hand in the Bible. I don't even know what this woman is talking about. I don't watch her page. I don't have access to her page. I cannot report a page that I don't have access to. But this is what got her all up in her feelings because she claims that she's got hacker friends. Sound familiar? Like the Indian guy? These people are fucking delusional. And so she claims that I reported her Facebook page. What? This is ludicrous. But then she goes on to say that apparently it's not uncommon, as Facebook is quite prejudicial when you're raising political issues that someone either reports it or the AI gets confused. The AI got confused. Thomas, she's appealed it from Facebook and await a response. Apparently her page is blocked until July the 8th is what she says. So she says, at the beginning of the live broadcast, I stated that now it's time to roast Sandra Hill. So now she's gone back because she found that word in there and claimed that just like how Kevin Hart and other people had a roast done, mind you now, if you understand the concept of roast, which clearly she doesn't, the judge even said that to her. A roast is by consent. The person agrees to be roasted. They actually help organize the event. They invite a lot of times the people that you see there, and they're actually there in attendance. It's a laugh. It's funny. They're part of the joke. This isn't a roast. This just demonstrates her lack of ignorance and just the way that she will lie and contrive a story that does not even make any sense. Hear what she said. This I did in all essence of a roast of someone. It was going to be honest, funny, humorously mocking, teasing, and insulting. The first part is a problem. It wasn't honest. What you said about me is not based on any truth whatsoever. So do we need to go past that? That's why it's defamatory. She does not understand the definition of defamation. Then she says the plaintiff knows what roasting means because they spent many years residing in the United States of America. And this activity is publicly broadcasted over public television stations, social media, radio, and publications as one I will exhibit, and the American terminology as per Cambridge Advance of an act for mostly celebrities or any other person, such as in schools, etc. As the plaintiff has alluded to in her ex parte, of having many social media platforms with followers that in her own words stated exceeded X number of followers. This speaks to the mere fact that the plaintiff is indeed a local celebrity, hear this stupidity, of which many in the community, including myself, the defendant in this matter, together with other locally and overseas listening audiences, regard the plaintiff as a widely outspoken local celebrity and is publicly treated as one in the Cayman Islands. What? What the hell? I'm a local celebrity. Jesus Christ. Therefore, celebrities in the United States of America, where the plaintiff once held residency rights as a citizen, I have never, let me tell you, I don't know what the fuck Carrie is talking about. I have never had residency rights as a citizen. No. She thinks she knows so much about me, but this woman knows nothing. I was a citizen of the United States of America. Are constantly being put through a roast as per an article from December 3rd, 2024, whereby there were 10 celebrities being put through a roast. During these events, nothing is off the table. So this was her defense. The judge shut it down. He said this wasn't a roast. This is straight up defamation. So, wow. She just goes on and on. It was a lot. She talked about Daniel Scott and the hearing here. This is where he started to shut her down because she started to say certain things about Margaret Ramsey. He said, no, you're not going to do that. She talked about Felix Manzanares being married to her niece and how I was talking about him. Again, total fabrication. None of this happened with Felix with a smile and whatever. That is all a lie. I can tell you that without fear of contradiction. She talked about the cynical job contract that she had. She claims was published due to the plaintiff's publication. because basically we outed her brother, Lonnie Tibbetts, for hiring her under her middle name because he was trying to hide that he had hired his own sister. And then, you know, she goes on and on and on. Oh, how she was supporting me during my recent court matters. I didn't need your support, Carrie. You'll be fine. And oh, you know, she'll remove the stuff. There was no malice or hatred against the plaintiff. Anyone who saw it, you see, this is where it is Darlene McKenzie in the comment section. Because Darlene, I understand that you were watching her show and you were commenting and supporting her. I want you to ask yourself a question now, right? Someone who could get up on a public platform and say the things that she said about me and went on in the manner in which she did, right? Now she's claiming that it was all meant to be a big joke, nothing more. None of it was supposed to be serious. Darlene, did you, as you sat there in the comment section agreeing with her, thought that she was roasting me and this was funny and all a joke? And none of it was true, none of it was to be taken seriously? Did you believe that? No, that's her narrative now because she's a coward. And she sees that I'm not playing with her and I'm coming for her. Okay? So now she's talking about there was no malice, no hatred against the plaintiff. Really? The crazy look in her eyes, the vitriol coming out of her mouth, the disgusting things she had to say, no malice and hatred. Well, I would hate to see the day she decided to have some malice or hatred towards me. This woman is off of her rockers. Talking about she still supports the work that I do, that I've done good for the community in so many ways. But others, including myself, here's a narcissistic personality disorder now, have done a lot of good things as well. This is not a pissing competition. I don't do anything in this community or for anyone because I'm looking for any accolades or to compare myself to anybody else. But apparently she is. Right? Talking about, I am indeed saddened that our acquaintance has been so deteriorated because of as Native Caymanians, we are the minority in our country. And when we unite, we can do good for people who are unique in every way. Lord Jesus. Oh my God. I admire the plaintiff in many of her efforts that she does. Some may not be in alignment with my beliefs or the belief of others in our small community, but it does not make me want to see the plaintiff not succeed. I pray her the abundance of wellness, success, and may God bless her family. What the hell? It is madness what this woman says in this versus what she gets on her show. And this is where now you see this divergence in personality. That you're like, what is this? Is this bipolarism? What exactly is going on here? I can't diagnose her. I understand she does take medication for bipolarism. And sometimes she's like now not on her medication. So she's going through a bit of a manic phase, right? You need to get professional help. But the bottom line is this. You don't get to defame me, my name, my character, my brand, any of that without an adequate response. And so I've responded. Yesterday, we were successful. She had to take down anything that she said about me. So if you guys see anything anywhere else, because I don't follow her, she's got so many accounts, I cannot keep up. But if you say that, if you see this woman saying anything about me, screenshot it, send it to me, because I will certainly advise the court. And the judge reminded her yesterday that there is a penal notice attached to this, which means that if you don't stop, you will go to jail. She was obsessed yesterday in court talking about, she said, I'd like to raise the fact that Mrs. Hill, the plaintiff, has repeatedly and has even just recently spoke about my incarceration matter. That has now fallen under the spent conviction. Hold on. This has now fallen under the spent convictions law and should not even be talked about. Once again, here's a person who does not even understand what the spent conviction legislation is about. It doesn't mean that someone can't talk about you and what you did. You stole $113,000 plus, right? The spent conviction isn't a magic pill that someone takes and makes your history disappear. People in the community will remember that you're a thief. More importantly, because you are repeating the behavior over and over again. And quite frankly, you have never stopped stealing from people. You've never stopped being dishonest, right? And you're trying to rewrite history and make Mr. Real Gallagher into a horrible person. When you destroyed his life by stealing this money, which is part his client money, you shortened the man's life. You destroyed his business, destroyed his reputation. And you don't get to, because of the passage of time, sit here and rewrite history, claiming that you didn't go to jail you weren't sentenced to 3 years. You weren't made to pay restitution, claim you couldn't pay it then, right? You have a reputation of your own making. I have never needed to make up a single thing about Carrie because unfortunately her record speaks for itself. Right? Now you might not like that. You might be upset about that, but that has nothing to do with me. Okay? So your obsession, she keeps talking about my spent conviction. She's not allowed to talk about it. That's not true. We are allowed to talk about it. It is the truth of what happened. So the spent conviction law is to enable you to get employment so that you can get basically a clean police record because, okay, you went to jail, you served your time. Let's now give this person a clean police record for those jobs that require it. This person says no such thing as a native Caymanian. We're multi-generational Caymanians. Oh my God. She should have used AI to draft her response instead of that drivel that she presented. She might have gotten further ahead. You know why she couldn't use AI? Because even AI has some perimeters. Even AI is like, look, I'm not going to be able to say that because that is defamatory, because that's nonsense. AI, child, AI got more sense than her. But honestly, you need to get a grip. So the judge found in my favor yesterday, and let me say this much. This is going to go the full 9. Because what I think is happening here is in the past, we have seen instances where she's been sued. They get to this point where people are like, okay, she's taken down the offending material. Let's just walk away and leave it alone. Because of that, Carrie feels like there are no real consequences for her behavior. My apologies, my throat getting a little bit sore. So she feels like there's no real consequences for her behavior. And the worst that can happen is she has to take down a page, take down a post, and then a couple months, she'll start all over again. Not with me. Okay? And I've made it very, very clear to the judge yesterday. I said, Your Honor, I can assure you that I intend to go the full 9 yards. We're going to go to trial. She can try to come up with another defense because this one clearly didn't fly. He has basically said to her that what she has published, right, is not a defense. He does not believe, even at this early stage, that she has a defense to defamation. He said, the plaintiff in this matter has asked for an order requiring the defendant to take down any existing post making certain defamatory comments about the plaintiff and her conduct. Both parties have represented themselves before me this morning, and I've tried to give both parties a full opportunity to say something, whatever they wish to say to me in relation to the complaints. Before I deal with the substance of this dispute, then he went on to talk about what defamation is. right? He said, thankfully, it's not an active hobby amongst Caymanians. He talks about he gives you a definition of what defamation is, what some of the actual defenses are. He says it is not defamatory to say something about someone that is true and can be demonstrated to be true. There's a second defense, right? Of opinion honestly held. There's a whole list of defenses. She doesn't have any of those. He says the concept. Let me back up here. Let me start off first by saying that the Cayman Islands does not apply American law. So this thing about bringing up roasting and, oh, this is what they do in the United States. He says Cayman Islands does not apply American law, right? Law in the Cayman Islands is quite substantially different from that in the United States. It is far closer to the United Kingdom law, which is largely follows in a lot of areas. The concept of roasting does not really exist as such within the Cayman Islands, but more importantly, it does not provide an excuse whatsoever to a claim of defamation. Okay? He says, let me stress, it's no defense to claim that Mrs. Hill may have done the same thing to you. If Ms. Whitaker has complaints about what Mrs. Hill has previously said about her, then it is up to her to pursue her own claim for defamation if the requirements for valid defamation claim can be made out. But simply because Mrs. Hill may have said things about Ms. Whitaker in the past does not justify making defamatory comments about Mrs. Hill now. Then she talked about how she took her time getting us this, her so-called response. She did not attempt to put forward any of the available defenses to her claim for defamation. She does not seek to say that what she said about Mrs. Hill is true or that it is an honest opinion held, et cetera, et cetera. He says, I do not consider that any of the comments that Ms. Hill has complained about qualify as a humorous or witty roast in the way that Ms. Whitaker has sought to deflect the plaintiff's criticisms of her. In my judgment, the language used is very clearly not of a humorous roast. In deciding whether or not to make orders this morning, I have to bear in mind two provisions of the Cayman Islands Constitution, and then he goes into that. Still on air. Yeah, okay. Okay, no problem. All right. He even went on to say that he's still of the view that damages are unlikely to be satisfactory remedy as far as I'm concerned. He's absolutely right. There's no amount of money in the world. Both because of the difficulty in determining the value of damage to reputation, but also because the information that's been put before me in her affidavit, there's also, what did he say? There's also correspondence leading up to the hearing today. I have grave doubts that Ms. Whitaker has the means to pay any order for damages. She blamed me as well for why she's unemployed. You can imagine. The woman who started up every business under the sun and has not been able to have a good go of any of them because she's a crook. It is just so unbelievable. He says that it's impossible for me to verify in terms that she's removed stuff. So he reminded her about the penal code. He made reference to my cases, obviously, because that's what he needs to focus in on. All this other foolishness about cat sanctuary and that I'm supposedly jealous of her and all this nonsense. No. So he granted the injunction. Now, where do we go from here? So by Friday, I have to do a submission for cost because had I had a lawyer represent me yesterday, that lawyer would have to get costs back from her. I was a litigant in person, so I'm doing some research on exactly how cost works for litigants in persons. So I will submit that. She's going to have to pay me something for my time yesterday. I can assure you, it won't be anything that my time was actually worth or valued, right? And then we're going to move forward to setting a date for an actual trial. If she has no defense, which he's basically told her she doesn't, she should just throw in the towel and says that she has no defense. It's because at this stage that everybody stops with her. She's never learned her lesson. And I don't have any intentions of doing that. I intend to go full force all the way to damages hearing. I will get damages, whether it's $1 or $1 million. It doesn't matter to me, because as the judge says, she's not going to be able to pay it. That's not the point. The point is, the next time she sets up another page, right? She's got like 3 TikTok pages, multiple YouTube channels, multiple Instagram channels, multiple Facebook. She's all over the place. The next time she decides to set up another page, she's already taken down her Cayman Best Island. She'll think twice about going on one of her rants, saying defamatory things about people. That is the objective here. So I will keep you guys updated. And Cameron, this isn't even about her opinion. She stated in a factual manner what she said about me. It is utterly disgusting. She also attacked the woman who was the whistleblower, the real whistleblower that helped put her in jail, as it relates to her, her theft. And, you know, my understanding is that lady reached out to her and said, if you think Sandy's the only one who will sue you, think again. So she quick time removed that. It's just shocking. All right. This guy, let's go back to the Indian guy, because a few people have messaged me about him. So let me quickly share these with you. This person says, please keep me anonymous. He attacked us a lot and other businesses within the Indian community. Yep, we have had enough of him. Sadly, he failed in his business and marriage and blamed others for his failures. He uses his mental health to gain sympathy and attention. And we and other businesses have made several reports to the RCIPS. So my question now is, where is the police in all of this? And what is it that they intend to do? Right? This is a valid question. This man has permanent residency in this country. Another person says, hey, I tried to text you from my other phone because I was in a meeting, but I finally got a hold of this phone. Somebody sent it to me and asked me to forward it to you. I also have some emails that he sent to the police commissioner, etc. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the show because I was in a meeting. So this man is off the rails. And who is taking this matter in hand? He wasn't obviously in, you know, like I said, he reached out to me and I just ignored him basically, right? Now that I've taken him on today, he claims he's going to be posting stuff about me. Sir, whatever. Honestly, everybody knows you got some problems. What do you say? I got 99 problems. CMR shouldn't be one of your problems, but if you want to make us one of your problems, you can go ahead. I'm not really going to take you on because your rants, we can see that something not taken to right up. Yeah. Just go home. That's what I said that offended you. Go back home where you can get proper support. You're already hospitalized multiple times in India. They can help you. They have the facility there. Someone says she also invited us over to her house once for lunch. It was when she was dating Andre. And did I go? I know I've been there once because another civil servant was also there. Like certain people I don't flex with. So, you know, I wasn't going over there by myself because like I said, you know, I'm a lesbian kind of vibe here. And so, yeah, Vanessa, this is another person that she went after as well. Vanessa is finally Sandy. Did we go? We probably turned it down because this person has they have a good eye for when people are not straight. They be telling me, Sandy, don't give that person a chance. Poor old me. I'm such a sap. I'm not like that anymore. I'm learning. Yes, we went. So that's the one time that we went. Oh, let me ask you, was that woman, I think it's the one time that I went. She's a civil servant. I can't remember her name right now. Oh my God. Her mom would live off Crew Road. She was that. No. Not her. Who the hell is Patty Banks? No. That's not her name, man. Oh my God. But we're thinking about the same person. I think you just got the wrong name. No, man, she's young. Well, I guess her age now. We're not so young anymore. She says, I don't remember. I was scared. You fool. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, yes. She was there. So that was the one time I went. See, I don't even remember. You were there with me? Oh God, praise the Lord. I got an eyewitness. This person's like, I'm surprised that cousin of yours went with you to Carrie's. That's not her scene. How the heck you know that who I'm talking to? Yes. I was after that. I told you she was crazy. No, it wasn't Darla. I think Darla, I don't know if Darla is still friends with her, but no, not her. And all that time, I didn't even know the company wasn't hers. Poor Andre. I'm sure that man got some stories to tell. OMG. So somebody says she was paying mortgages, school fees, but cry saying she don't know where the next plate of food coming from for herself and the cats. None of the, listen to me. None of the submissions made any sense. Like when I walked out of there, my head was all kind of swirling with like, I just had to do a brain dump. You know, when you're done with a situation, you're like, okay, just dump it. Useless information. That poor judge. My cousin last said, you were dragging me everywhere, traumatizing me. Lord have mercy. She tried to warn me. Follow her. She won't send you wrong. Oh my God. Jeez and peace. No, sir. Oh, I can't even. So on a more serious note, though, this whole situation feels very, even now, I'm laughing about it because if you don't laugh, you're going to cry because it's so ridiculous. I know what I have to do from a legal perspective, and I'm going to do that. But I also recognize that I probably should get a proper protective order in place because the things that she said and the things that, it just, strong will, please don't say that. Tell me you're lucky she didn't put that bill to you. Y'all don't try and behave yourselves. Oh my God. No. Ay. No, sir. I have to laugh about it, Cameron, because honestly, it's just crazy. So we move forward with the process. I'm about handling my business, so don't worry about that. We got this in the bag. As the judge said yesterday, there is no defense. When you hear a judge at this early stage saying that to you, just take heed. If she was a nicer person, I would actually feel sorry for her. Because while she's here trying to live my life and compare herself to me, you haven't been employed in forever. Nobody wants to hire you because, and listen, some of us are not hireable, including myself. I'm not good working for other people. I can work with other people. Because when I own my own businesses, I give people value for money, good product, good services, that sort of thing. but I don't have the personality to be an employee, right? Having said that, I've held down jobs in my life with no problems because I'm not there stealing from my employers. And there's a difference. So let's be clear about why some people are hireable and why others are not. Anyway, what can I say? Life goes on. I know some of you wanted this update. Like, I honestly didn't even want to talk about it today because I had had enough yesterday. I'm going to go eat myself some churned mangoes. Vinegar, salt, and pepper. That's going to be lunch today. And I got a lot of work here that I need to get done. I need to clear off my desk because it's a hot mess. Marlon keeps pushing stuff on my side of the desk. So I'm going to deal with that today, get it all cleared off. I've got my donation bag of shoes and old suitcases and other stuff that I'm going to be giving away to people in the community. And, you know, someone says, is she bipolar or bisexual or both? I'm not getting into it. I don't want to know. The less I know, the better. And I feel like we're all going to be fine. This one says, I'm in a meeting, but someone told me that you were talking about him. Oh, okay. Sending from this phone. Oh, I need to add that little guy to my favorites. And there's a whole letter that is being circulated, dated the 3rd or the 4th, which I guess might be April the 4th, 2026, about this guy. He's 41 years old, apparently, talking about he's under the care of this physician. This should be enough for our elected officials and the PR board to do something about him. I mean, really and truly, I think the time has now come. I will do something behind the scenes in terms of asking some relevant questions about why we're letting cokeheads into our country, people breaking into other people's medical records, people with severe mental illnesses, people with even, I've talked about before, communicable diseases, AIDS and other stuff. We got to be careful who and what we are letting into this country. Simple as that. Strong Will says, I don't want no granite shoes like Marlon said. Train hush, them granite shoes, comfortable, man. Comfort on your feet. You're going to love me and thank me for that. Anyway, life goes on. What can I say? We live in paradise that is batshit crazy on most days, right? And we just keep it moving. That's all I can do. Keep it moving. All right, tomorrow's Thursday. I don't even know what we're talking about tomorrow yet. We still never got to Miss Marla's thing today. Oh my God. Okay. Lord Jesus. Tomorrow we got to do it, man. Because then Friday will be another hot mess. All right. So, expats, do better. Don't come to Cayman and make Cayman like what you're running from with all your drama and issues. We don't want that here. We're trying to keep it at a good level. Help us. Don't hurt us. Because when you start to hurt us, you're then the persona non grata. We don't want you here. You got to go. The Larrys and Lindas of the world, okay? All right, folks. It is what it is. I got some brownies I need to go cut up as well. And Tish, I feel like you have some brownies possibly coming your way today. So I'll message you after the show. Somebody said, wait a minute. So Andre Jackson was her man? Oh my God, he's a nice guy. Happily married now. Yes, honey child. What a hot mess. Poor Andre. No, sir. Anyway, let me all right, let me get to some work. I see some emails coming in that I need to go and deal with. So let me get to work. You guys get to work and you have an amazing day. Where's Abby and all the rest of the crew? See you guys tomorrow morning. Please be good until then. No, Johan's not out of prison. Sorry, still in jail.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.